Good morning, folks. Finally able to make it. Those of you on playback know it's coming. Oh, shit. Flores is in the building. Oh, shit. Just a heads up, Flores, if you wait a little bit, more people will filter in. It's a cold morning here in Texas. It is. It's snow on the ground outside for the time being. We'll see how much longer it's there. I don't know what we're going to talk about today, to be completely, totally honest with you. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Mavericks last couple of games. I kind of want to do NFL picks. I kind of want to do an NFL bracket, but we'll react to some content. Any good reacts out there? Any slop for us to report on? Still snowing for you, really? Do you think Mavs games versus Nuggets under danger due to weather? No. Where is it? Is it in Dallas? Toughest trade deadline questions. We'll look at that. In Dallas on Sunday afternoon? No. It'll all be cleared out by then. If they played last night, they're for sure playing today. Last night was like the bad time. They won't cancel a game unless it gets crazy. All right, we got a couple articles we can look at. Hate that baseball series when we're the home team. It's kind of crazy that the Mavs will have already played the Nuggets 4 times after this. These like scheduling quirks are always so weird to me. Like the Mavericks have already played the Blazers 4 times. It's like how is it possible that we played you for like a quarter of our schedule? It feels like. Portland played a game without Ayton being able to make it to the stadium due to snow last year. Yeah, that's true. Don't check out the Lakers schedule. What has there ever been a game canceled? I mean, I'm sure there has been, but like due to inclement weather. I'm sure there has. Let's see. Like hurricanes and shit. But like a storm, and obviously you have the wildfires, was postponing games. Has the game ever been canceled due to weather? But not including hurricanes. List of NBA games postponed, canceled, or moved due to violence. Assassination of John F. Kennedy. Getting dark and serious here early in the stream. Now, I guess we could segue that. Who actually killed JFK? Assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. Well, we already know who did that. Miami riots, the LA riots, aka the Rodney King riots, the Columbine High School massacre, September 11th, oh, these are all preseason games. Okay, I was like, Telecom basketball. Pacers Pistons brawl, Malice in the Palace. Game canceled during the game, obviously. Boston Marathon bombing. This was 9 years ago. 10 years ago. Oh, yeah, you had the Warriors assistant coach passing last year that led to a to a game getting postponed. But I'm mainly wondering, has there ever been like a major storm, just like a thunderstorm that's been so bad? This feels like a no. Did you watch the Malice at the Palace game? I mean, I've seen it, obviously. But no, I was not watching live at the time. I would have been, what, 9 years old? 8 years old? COVID. Well, yeah, that's different. And you hope to see Luka and Kyrie back in February? Well, I'm assuming Kyrie's for sure going to be playing in February, knock on wood. Luka, I'm assuming he's going to be back as well. I would say very good chances. What is the max you would pay Quinton Grimes in the offseason if you're the Mavs? I'm letting him hit restricted free agency. Full stop. I mean, it's just a smart GMing. Sally was on AOL chatting up girls at that age instead of basketball. I was on AOL. Shout out to AIM, man. I actually was talking about this a few days ago with someone. I think that was the peak. I really do. I think like that was kind of supposed to be where things settled. Where you have a way to communicate with everyone and there's like this level of community online, but it doesn't like shatter the real sense of community outside, if that makes sense. By the way, on Kelly Olynyk is very cheap now. You only don't let a player hit restricted offers if you know they are willing to take a discount. Yeah, like I don't even think he can sign an extension anymore, right? Hasn't that deadline passed? It would have been nice to have locked him up in the preseason, but he bet on himself. I mean, people will give Nico shit for that, but you really didn't know he was coming off of a really weird season last year. Out of the Knicks rotation early on, upset about it. Didn't really play great. Goes to Detroit, looks horrible. 6 games, hurt, misses the rest of the year. Just kind of like a really weird year. Flores is gifted 50 memberships. Flores, clap it up. That's right. The legend themselves. Flores Claus. The one, the only, the legend outside, the statue outside the slightly delusional club. Did my man lose a bet? No, Flores is a legend around these parts. Hit the doggy slightly? What? Will you dodge it? we might have to mute the audio. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, Nurkic DNP last night. On the pod, Isaac was telling he'd open Alonzo to the Mavs. What are your thoughts? Sure, I guess. I promise you guys will be getting in a trade slot, but I still haven't in my brain gotten to it yet. But now it's time to get there. Now it is time to get there. Flores, you ever think about coming to Mavs Digest streams? We just need a backup 4. I don't think we should touch any other position. Shout out to Flores, man. Incredible. Let's clap it up. Dodged it again. What's up with the fucking green screen today? I mean, what's up with it? The lighting is exactly the same. Morning, Tyler. All right, let's do this. No football games last night, right? No football games last night? Which of these NBA All-Stars played college basketball? That's Vince Carter. Which of these bowl games takes place in California? Rose Bowl. All right, come on. Let's get the college football games out the way. Which of these MLB teams has won more World Series? Definitely the Red Sox. Blue Jays have won 2. Back-to-back. Joe Carter. Which of these NBA teams has more wins this year? Celtics or Rockets? This is an interesting little trick question. I'm thinking the Celtics, but okay. How many regular season MLB games were played in 2020? Fuck. 50 or 60? I'm going to say 60, but it might be 50. Okay. Who lost the World Series in the shortened 2020 season? The Rays. All right, hold on a second. We're cooking. We've answered baseball questions and we've answered college football questions. 2 Georgetown legends have made 10-plus NBA All-Star games. Allen Iverson and Patrick Ewing. Come on, we're cooking, baby. Has the below 500 MLB team ever won the World Series? I'm going to guess no. But I'm assuming the answer is going to be yes. Okay. It's just that MLB's been around for 300 years. Which of these franchises has never won an NBA title? That would be the Phoenix Suns. All right, here we go. One more. Come on, baby. This quarterback just tied a record for most FBS touchdown passes in a college football career. I don't know half these people. I'm gonna guess Dylan Gabriel because I know he's been there for a long time. Let's go, baby. What a start. What a start to our Friday. We have Flores, the legend, in here, being legendary. Perfect 10 out of 10 on Bleacher Report streaks. Come on, man. Flores Magic is in the air today. That is right. What was the name? I already forgot it. What was the name? Ralph. Good times. We did have some fun streaming games on here, didn't we? We did have some fun. But we also had some not fun. Javonte Green is a defensive wing for the Mavs. I mean, maybe those are the type of players you need to look at. Byron Foster with the $2.99. Everyone clap it up. W 10 out of 10 loves from streams from Aussie, mate. Shout out to the Aussies. Salute. All right. Why was Javonte Green somebody who was mentioned? Well, why was I looking at the Lakers schedule? Somebody told me to look at the Lakers schedule. San Antonio, Miami, Brooklyn, LA, Washington, Boston, Golden State, Charlotte, Philly. We need to talk trades. Everyone wants and loves it. I mean, the thing that's not getting me the trades is like the last few years, it's been like the Mavs are going to make a trade. The Mavs are going to make a trade. This year, I really don't know. I'm not sure. All home games. Oh, yeah, that's right. They are playing this crazy stretch where they're basically spending the rest of January in California. Can you name 10 current college football players? Honest to God, and I'm not just saying this to troll, probably not. Shedeur Sanders. I don't even know his brother's name. I mean, something Sanders, obviously. Travis Hunter, Ginty, Quinn Ewers, Archie Manning. I forgot the Penn State guy's name that we were watching yesterday. Cam Ward. Quentin Gabriel. That's honestly it. Abdul Carter, that was his name. Shiloh Sanders. Can I name 10 current MLB catchers? Jonah Heim. Wilson Contreras. William Contreras. Austin Wells. Will Smith. Martin Maldonado, is he still playing or is he done? Jorge Alfaro, is he still playing or is he done? Well, we won't count him. Salvador Perez. Trying to think of the teams. Francisco Cervelli, is he still in the league? I'm going to assume he's not. Austin Davis, wasn't that guy number 1 overall pick? Is he a catcher? He was a catcher, wasn't he? I'm trying to think of all the teams. Like, I'm actually blanking on teams. Like, who's the Boston Red Sox catcher? I don't know. Who's the Minnesota Twins catcher? Like, I'm blanking on that. Colorado Rockies catcher. I'm not sure. You could tell Slightly thinks he's tough. I know what that's referencing. Padres catchers. Is Jorge Alfaro still in the league? Oh, Austin Hedges. How the fuck can we forget Austin Hedges? So by the street saying you were a child prodigy on the skin flute. I cannot name 5 NHL goalies. In fact, I'll go one further than that. I could not name one. I cannot name one NHL goalie. Marty Turco. How long has he been out the league? How long has Marty Turco been out the NHL? At least a decade? Is he still, and this is going to sound insensitive, is he still alive? Okay, he's still alive. We're good news there. I don't know. I thought my brain, that could have been a sad passing. Love from the Philippines. Shout out to the Philippines. I mean, I honestly don't know if I could name 5 NHL players. I always say college football is my biggest blind spot. NHL is by far my biggest blind. I know nothing about it. College football, at least I'll like watch every now and then. Like I'll be online enough to know some of the players, like Travis Hunter, obviously. I know nothing about the NHL, like genuinely nothing. I couldn't even tell you who's good, like what team's good. I don't know how are the Stars good. I think so. But I will say I do enjoy it. Anytime I watch the NHL, I do enjoy it. I think it's fun. I love going to NHL games. I think it's the best live sporting experience there is. I don't know how much of that is me not really knowing what's going on, so I'm just there vibing it up, one of those things. But it is elite. This is kind of what I envisioned this stream today being, to be honest with you guys. I mean, when we get to Friday and we spend all week talking about the NBA, sometimes there's just not a lot left to say, And I have, I just have this monitor on. Was on ESPN. It's still on it, and they're talking about God knows what on First Take. It is remarkable. I give them props on one thing: having a 3-hour sports talk show a day. Like the amount of shit you just have to fill, the amount of time you have to fill, is insane. Playoff hockey is one of the most entertaining things ever. Yeah, slightly who's winning the Super Bowl. All right, let's do that. I'm gonna start the Audacity recording. Gotta let my Spotify listenership know that today's gonna be a more chill stream. Who's talking on Fox Sports these days? Dogs, dude. Remember? They have the show called Speak, Sit, Stay, Roll Over. I'd rather watch highlights than watch First Take. They should have killed that show 10 years ago. Well, they didn't, and it's their entire identity now. Texas or Ohio State. Trying to close my eyes and envision what I see happening. Of course, naturally, living and growing up in the Metroplex, ton of friends who are UT fans. Got a few friends who are going. Few friends who traveled in this weekend who moved out of the city to watch the game, to go to the game. Can I close my eyes and see them being heartbroken, upset, distraught? Abso-fucking-lutely, yeah, I can. I close my eyes and I envision that. Now the question is, will that play out? Will that be how it plays out? As an Aggie, this choice is easy. Do you know Santi Aldama just have a contract of 3.9? You use Audacity because it's free because Adobe Audition is king. Is that right? Does Adobe, let's see. Adobe Audition. I think that's what Nick uses, I'm pretty sure. How much are we talking? How much are we chatting about here? So I went to Texas Tech. He's not picking the Longhorns. Yeah, but oh god damn. You want to know what's so annoying about this shit? Honestly, why is it that I can't just straight up buy it? If I wanted to be like, all right, $200, I buy it, I have it once. I have to do an annual prepaid. It costs $200 a year for Adobe Audition. Like, is that serious? Explain to me how that makes sense. I don't get that at all. That's so stupid. I mean, back in the day, you could just buy this shit. Sony Vegas. Is Sony Vegas still a thing? I think you can buy Final Cut Pro. I mean, it's because people pay for the subscriptions and then people forget about them. Like that's there was I guess it's not really going into effect until April is what I saw recently. But the thing where gyms now have to give you, or any subscription service has to give you a click to end subscription feature. I'm being dead serious when I say gyms will go out of business because of that. I'm not joking. That will actually put some gyms out of business. There's a couple of like Fitness Connection. I don't know if Fitness Connection is a national chain or what, but it's in the Dallas area. I used to have a Fitness Connection membership. They required you, and this was 10 years ago, so it might have changed. They required you to send in a letter, handwritten. That's what they told me. That's what they told me whenever I went to go cancel in person. I was like, can I cancel my membership right here? They're like, oh, you got to send a letter. And I'm like, dude, can I just cancel it right here? And they're like, no, like it's company policy. You got to send a letter. It's got to be handwritten. I was like, what? Handwritten? Handwritten letter. Like it's the 18 fucking hundreds. And so how did I get out of a Fitness Connection membership? Change my credit card. Straight up. Goodbye. Goodbye. That's why a lot of places now want you to use your banking account. Planet Fitness does the letter. It's really annoying because I tried to go into Planet Fitness and just like, yo, I'm canceling my membership. Fortunately, I was lucky enough. One of the guys there was like, yeah, I'll cancel it for you. So I just walked in and canceled my Planet Fitness membership. Texas Family Fitness, when you cancel, makes you pay. I had Texas Family Fitness a while back as well. Yeah, well, it's the new law. But I promise you that that'll put some gyms out of business. And whenever I did cancel my Planet Fitness, I went in and I canceled it. They said, I remember vividly, this was in May. I don't remember the year, but it was in May. I know for a fact it was in May because I thought how weird this was. I go in to cancel it. I'm like, hey, I'm here to cancel my membership. I don't want to come here anymore. This gym sucks dick. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. And they were like, okay, but in order to cancel it, it looks like you missed your October payment of last year. I was like, how? I'm on a monthly payment thing. I never got any notification from you guys. What do you mean I missed my October payment? Like 7 months ago, I've just been openly coming to this gym. There was no notification that you guys didn't stop me in my tracks when I scanned my card and said, hey, you owe a month. And they're like, in order for us to cancel, you got to pay your October one right now. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Just put whatever on my card. Let's go. Just like, in order to stop paying, you must pay. Yeah, it was like, yeah, you didn't pay your October. I'm like, then how was I allowed to continue to come here then? The thing about gyms have to have basketball courts for me or else I'm not going to it. And I don't want a half basketball court, half pickleball situation. It's got to be basketball purely. I don't give a fuck. Pickleball, go outside. Go play pickleball outside. Go play a real sport. Go play racquetball in the racquetball area. Go actually run around and play racket. Go get a real exercise in. Here in Germany, gymnasiums cost $20 a week. How about you? $20 a week. Wow. I think my Planet Fitness membership's like 30 or 40. Or not Planet Fitness, LA. Something like that. 30 to 40. When I worked at Planet Fitness, I pitched the idea of having NFL Sunday taken on all TV because Sundays have no traffic and they shot me down. They don't want good business. Well, Sundays Sunday's like the universal off day, I think, for people, fitness-wise. Like, I feel like if you were to poll anyone who like works out regularly, they would say Sunday's like their day off. My Planet Fitness is $10, but I have a discount through my job. Back in the day, I had a boy who, this was about 7 years ago or so. One of my friends, like, got grandfathered in, like, got LA Fitness membership when we were in high school. And they used to it's crazy. They used to allow 2 guests at any time. 2 guests, recurring, didn't matter. You could bring 2 guests with you whenever you wanted. And they changed that policy, but he got grandfathered into it. And God, we gamed the system. They were getting so annoyed at us. We showed up every single day. It was me and 2 of my friends showed up every single day to play basketball. Guest pass every day. Every single day, they're like, all right, it's time to get you guys this membership. We're like, no, we don't want it. And then they did end up changing that ultimately. And now you only get 1 guest pass. Is it 2 guest pass a month, I think, or 2 guest pass a week? I forgot which one it was. But they don't fuck around with that stuff anymore. And then they harass. I've brought a couple of friends with my guest pass before, and afterwards they're like, I don't want to do that ever again. Like, they're so annoying about it whenever you're trying to leave. You have to give them your driver's license. They got to give you a whole pitch. That's why I just tell everyone, I'm just like, dude, just say you don't live here. It's the easiest one. Just say, I don't live here. I'm just in town for like the weekend. So it wasn't truly grandfathered in if they changed it? BS by the gym? Oh, yeah. He was grandfathered in, though. They changed the policy, but he still was allowed the 2 guest passes because it was his original policy. I don't remember. Is there any incentives for gyms to want people to actually be inside the gym? Well, yeah, because if people stop going, then they're inevitably going to cancel their membership. But yeah, they just want you to pay reoccurring. And I get what you're saying. Like, the more people in there. You got to talk about Cavs OKC today? It was a great game. I mean, what is there to talk about that hasn't been talked about ad nauseum by everyone else? Great game. Cavs are incredible. Great night for the NBA. Seriously. A celebration of the league in a lot of ways. And then you got Thunder Knicks tonight. How about that? OKC is just overrated? No, they're not overrated. Without Chet, though, the Cavs double bigs definitely gives them a huge problem. Why do they put Doris Burke on that game? I honestly think Doris Burke's fine. I think she's good next to like Richard Jefferson. I think they balance each other out really well. It was Mark Jones, right? That's Mark Jones and Doris together are a tough pairing for me. They're just too extra. That's really it. It feels like I'm watching, and this sounds unfair, but it feels like I'm watching like 2 people do like a performance, if that makes sense. Which is fine if it's one person and you can balance them out with others. Saying you want Mark Jackson back, but no Doris is wild. Yeah, Mark Jackson has like funny catchphrases, but Mark Jackson was horrible. He would stop talking about the game and start complaining about random shit. Yeah. And I'd hit it out the park, respectfully. Jones and Hubie were elite duo. Yeah, that's a good duo. I really don't mind Doris Burke. I think she's fine. I really do think the worst we have going, Bob Myers, respect to him, whatever. I do not think he should be like a play-by-play or a color commentator guy. It does not work. It falls completely and totally flat. Reggie Miller, I don't hate Reggie Miller near the level of some of you guys, to be honest with you, but I don't think he's great. Reggie hates the Mavs. You guys were saying that when the Mavs were playing the Lakers, and I wasn't hearing it. Do you like Doris Burke as a commentator? Yeah, I think she's perfectly fine. I really do. I think she's perfectly fine. I mean, if she got let go tomorrow, it's not like the end of the world to me. But I don't. Doris is overrated shit. Is she? Everyone hates her. How is she overrated? Everyone actually hates her. Good morning, folks. It is Friday, January 10th, 10:17 a.m. Central Standard Time. Welcome in to slightly early today. We're just kind of rambling a little bit. We've been talking in the stream for a few minutes now. Currently, we're talking about Doris Burke. My, I guess, controversial opinion is I think Doris Burke is completely and totally fine. And my stance was that paired next to certain other commentators, it can kind of become grating. Like, I do not like the Mark Jones Doris Burke pairing whatsoever. I just thought those two brought out the worst in one another. It felt very performative, and like they were both doing, I don't know, like a playwright version of NBA commentators. However, when it's just her with, we were talking about the Cavs OKC game. When it's her next to like a, why did I just blank on his fucking name? Richard Jefferson, Jesus. When it's her next to Richard Jefferson, I think it's good. I think it works. I really do. Her bias is very noticeable. Yeah, sometimes. There is a Celtics bias there, obviously. But that's just national broadcast games in general, though. Like, whenever they go into games with a package, I guarantee the network gives them a package. Like, this is what we're going to talk about in the lead up to the game. This is what we're going to talk about at halftime. Like, these are the storylines that you need to know. These are the storylines the fans need to know. And I just think naturally, human nature kicks in, and that's kind of what you aim your commentary towards. Like, for example, I'm just going to make up a scenario in my head. Timberwolves play the Warriors. All right, hey, the commentary here might be, hey, Anthony Edwards is this up-and-coming young star who maybe he's ready to take the baton from Steph Curry and be one of the next faces of the leagues and be one of the next great guards in the NBA. And you might talk about that, and then it's going to sound stupid if Anthony Edwards is 7 of 22 from the field with 23 points and 6 turnovers. It's going to sound dumb. That's kind of what they were told to say, if that makes sense. Jones and Doris were trying to use all the modern language. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like that pairing together whatsoever. If Dirk was sitting next to her, we'd all love her. And then we'd like Reggie Miller, another one of my controversial opinions. Every Mavs fan swears that Reggie Miller hates the Mavs. And of course, he said some things that you're going to find annoying when you're watching the games on TV. I really don't think he's that bad. Like, I really don't. I don't know. He's not my favorite. I'm not, I'm not rushing to my couch to turn on a TNT game to listen to Reggie Miller. But, I think he's fine. That's because of that Western Conference Finals he glazed ant. It's like the Mavs played the Lakers on TNT a few nights ago. And everyone in my chat was like, dude, fuck Reggie. He hates the Mavs. And I was listening. I was like, I really don't hear it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't hear it much. I don't like hear it coming through the commentary the way you guys are saying. How do you feel about TNT? They are funny, but they say some insane things, and I don't think they ever favor the Mavs. Yeah, they're funny. They're an entertainment show when you look at it like that. It gets a little grating when it's like, and welcome to the halftime show. Here comes Charles Barkley, who is a natural-born entertainer, very funny. Welcome to the halftime show. Charles Barkley's going to shit on the Lakers for the next 20 minutes and talk about why they suck. And actually, in a roundabout way, it's going to be a commentary on why the modern NBA sucks as a whole. And it's just like, okay. It's a little, no, we're doing this again. All right. Like the Lakers aren't even in this game. But okay. They spent the whole first quarter glazing the mid LeBron dunk. That was a sick dunk. Yes, they're going to glaze LeBron, guys. It's fucking LeBron James. Okay? You know what? They should. They should glaze LeBron James. They should. He's the all-time leading scorer. He might be the greatest to ever do it. I don't know how many more years we have left. They're going to glaze him. Because former players that call games don't really like Luka's play style in general. I have to be honest with you. I really don't get the impression that all of these broadcasters hate the Mavs and hate Luka. I really don't get it. I don't feel it whenever I'm watching. I have to be honest. Do I think maybe there's some weird, the 73-point game from Luka around this time last year, was it very strange the way the NBA handled that? Or the NBA media talked about that? Yes, it was. It was very weird. Very weird and quite embarrassing and pathetic. And if I was Adam Silver, we'd be having closed doors meeting with our broadcast partners after that. But bro, they saying Luka ain't a top 3-point guard in the league. Who's saying that? Reggie Miller actually doesn't like Luka. Mark Jones with the Golden Crowd comments about Luka was wild. Okay, Mark Jones might be a different story. If you follow his Twitter, that might be a different story. We might be dealing with something there with his dislike also for Jokic. There might be something there. It did happen a few days after Embiid and Mitchell's games, right? Yes, it was like a flurry of 60, 70-point games. Everyone has biases, exactly, and I don't know. I don't really feel like whenever I'm watching national TV games, I don't know if I really feel like there's a super big narrative against the Mavs or Luka, at least not more than any other team or player that's not LeBron and the Lakers, really. That's really like it. We know LeBron's going to get talked about a certain way. We know the Lakers are going to get talked about a certain way. Then you have like the fun up and coming, the fun up and coming teams like the Thunder that everyone loves and falls in love with. And I also want to say, like, Luka had his time. There was a time when everyone called him the golden child. Do you guys not remember that? Everyone online called him the golden child. Like, people got angry. People got angry on the opposite end of the spectrum that the media, like, talked so glowingly about Luka. As they should have, by the way. The media talked so glowingly about Luka. It's this kind of the cycle here. It happened so early for Luka. The same thing will happen for Shai. If the Thunder are having a disappointing postseason this year, Shai will be under the same exact spotlight. These same exact narratives will start with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They're starting. You can already feel it starting with Anthony Edwards. Last year was Anthony Edwards' MJ. MJ reincarnate. I can't believe this. And now all of a sudden it's... I'm not sure. They also say that SGA is younger than Luka. Who's actually said that? It is funny when they talk about SGA's age. I've never heard somebody actually say that SGA is younger than Luka, though. Edwards sucks. It's funny that I literally said that. They're on First Take right now. They're talking about Anthony Edwards, but they are talking about that disgusting poster he had. SGA is older by a few months, yes. It was Zion, the Wemby, etc. hype trains last year, flags next. Yes. The Zion one lasted a year. I mean, Zion, a lot of that was due to injuries and stuff, but Sully, can you speak on the fires in Cali? Just give your opinion. I mean, what opinion is there to have other than a tragic, horrible event? The way they talk about Luka and Shai, you think Luka's 29, exiting his prime while Shai's just starting. Yeah, but I mean, it's how it goes, man. People aren't tuned in to the 20, 30 win Thunder, you know? I feel so bad for Kawhi and JJ Redick. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for everybody. I mean, just horrible. Absolutely horrible and devastating and heartbreaking. SGA seems younger than Luka because SGA was an All-NBA first team since year 2. Yeah, it just... Let's not forget, when SGA was hitting his stride, and I was advocating for SGA to make the All-Star game over one of my favorite players in the history of the sport, Mike Conley, who did get, in my opinion, a pity All-Star nomination there. What year is that? 2021? Bit of a pity. That's not fair to say because he was really good and the Jazz were really good, but just kind of here you go. Like you've been in the league a really long time, and here's your all-star. I honestly thought that Shai probably should have gotten that one, and I remember advocating for it at the time to like my 20 followers. It's also insecurity, which I think is normal because Luka got his 15 minutes. Now it's SGA and Wemby, and Luka's second season gets glossed over when the media talks Wemby in year 2. Yeah, that's definitely part of it as well. And I think there is this concern starting to set in where it's like, will Luka win an MVP? Like, we kind of thought it would happen by now, and now the goalposts are moving and things are changing. Why is Mike Conley one of your faves? I just like the way he plays. I always had a soft spot in my heart for those grit and grind Grizzlies teams. And he's there's another reason why I love him, but I won't say. It's too personal. Broadcasters and reporters aren't supposed to come off as fans of the Mavs. Luka won't slow down until 29. I think Luka's going to come back from injury and look great, by the way. I think he's going to be awesome. I think he's going to be incredible when he returns from injury. I can't wait to see it. My jaw dropped when I realized you're about 4 to 5 years older than me. No offense, you look so much older. Okay, thank you. Offense taken, by the way. All right. Let's talk about the Mavericks Trailblazers game from last night. No, I'm not pushing 40. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. The Dallas Mavericks. Lil Nesso, welcome to the Slightly Delusional Club. Cheers. The Mavericks have won 2 straight games. Felt like the sky was falling a few nights ago, coming off of that loss against the Memphis Grizzlies. They've now won 2 straight, and I'm being dead serious when I say this might sound dramatic. This might sound prisoner of the moment. I think we might look back at these 2 games as a very big moment in the season. The same way we look at those Kings games last year. 2 like fairly close games. I think the first game the Mavs blew them out, right? That could have gone either way. You win both on the road in Sacramento, and that was kind of the moment where it was like, all right, this team's locked and loaded. They're ready to go. These games here, very important wins for the Mavs. Reason being, you lose both of these, you're in the midst of what would be at that point a 7-game losing streak. You would be 20-18, and you would just look at the situation and just say, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure what the end result's going to be here. Locker room vibe seems sky high. Even if you lose to this Blazers team last night, you went to the game a 7.5-point favorite. You are obviously you're without your 2 main guys, but you were a better team than this Blazers team. You should have won, and then you did. 16-2 run to end it. Really a 16-0 run to end it. You're lucky Luka wasn't playing or Simons would have hit a game winner over his 3rd MVP candidate. Yeah. I mean, we know firsthand what Anthony Simons is capable of doing. Every Mavs game against this Blazers team has just been something. The one time the Mavericks were like fully healthy, they did blow them out. But it's just game 1. These teams have played 4 times this year. This is the last time they would have met. In Portland, the Trailblazers shoot an ungodly percentage from 3. The Mavericks barely pull out a win. Anthony Simons, 27 points. That might not seem like a lot. I think he had 24 points in the 3rd quarter. Only 3 the rest of the game and fouled out. They won 18 of 31 from 3, 58%. You somehow win that game. You blow them out and then you lose. This was right after Luka got injured. This was the game PJ was suspended. Najee was facing his suspension. Kyrie pops off, but it doesn't matter because Deni Avdija turned into LeBron James. And you lost that one. When Luka and Kyrie return, this team will eviscerate the league. Yeah. And then you win this game. You require a 16-0 run at the end to win. You got to clamp up to win. And that's what the Mavs did. They're finding their identity with this group, which is good. Because when Kyrie and Luka come back, I think that will, this little stretch, strengthening this team, iron sharpens iron, will help out. Derek Lively played one of the best games of his career last night, straight up. Defensively, he was incredible. 21 points as well to go along with 7 offensive rebounds, 16 rebounds in total. 35 minutes. That actually makes me wonder how many times he's played that many minutes in his career. Cannot be many, if at all. First time this season that D-Live has broken the 20-point mark. Klingon is a beast, yes. Kling Kong is absolutely a beast. So this was the most minutes Derek Lively has played in a game so far this season. And I wonder if maybe it's just the most minutes he's played in a game, period. 34 minutes. He did get a 40-minute game against, Hoops for Troops night, man. There's something about Derek Lively on Hoops for Troops night. Last year against the Orlando Magic on Hoops for Troops night, he got 40 minutes. So there you go. He had a couple of 40-minute games last year. Couple of 40-minute games, which is interesting. Blazers offensive rating versus the Mavs, 119. Yeah, the Blazers see the Dallas Mavericks, and it's go time. 44% from 3. I think we said they're 33% from 3 as a team against every other team in the league, and they're like 45 against the Mavs. Just insane. Would you trade for Kuzma? No. Something about Klingon's build is so off to me. He's like fat, but not. He looks slow, but he's not. Very strange. Yeah. He's just kind of a lumbering big out there. Talk to me about Quinton Grimes. I'm doing a Quinton Grimes video later today. He's been incredible. He's been awesome. Has he been like a superstar all-star? No. Nobody's wanting him to be that. He's been great. He's filled in the role that the Mavericks have needed desperately, and he's done it. He's the 8th or 9th guy on this team whenever everyone's healthy, and he's incredible at that role. Nothing more, nothing less. He's been great. A great addition for the Mavericks. They got for Tim Hardaway Jr. and a few second-round picks. Beautiful. He's everything that you wanted Josh Green to be. Good morning, Supreme Sam. Salute. Would you pay Grimes, Klay Thompson money? I think Grimes is gonna be a mid-level guy. That's where I'm settling at. I don't see $20 million. We joke about it. I joke about it. $20 million, $30 million. I don't think he's gonna get $20 million. Unless he continues this trajectory and then has like a Caleb Martin moment in the playoffs or something. And even then, what did Caleb Martin's contract was never even crazy. It's you look at the teams that have cap space in the summer. I think mid-level, yeah. I mean, he's a restricted free agent. He might form another team with cap space like Brooklyn. Yeah, but that would require Brooklyn to pay him. I don't know. Grimes having a Bruce Brown season. Mavs with the title. With him, he gets 2 years, $46 million with Indiana. All right, hey. If that's what it is, Grimes, thank you for your service. Good luck next year. If it guarantees a title, best of luck next year. Best of luck. I think when it gets to the 2s, the Mavericks would have trouble matching that. Just being honest. Because obviously Luka next summer is eligible for a supermax. You're gonna have to pay Kyrie Irving probably a max contract, $200 million if I had to guess. I definitely think there's a price they don't match. But the good news is he's restricted free agent. So they're in the driver's seat here. You can't not match. You can. You cannot match. I mean, there's going to be a number where it becomes a little ridiculous. But then at the same time, it's like, who's going to pay Quinton Grimes that? Like, I don't. It's a two-way street. You think Grimes is worth Clay's contract? Wait, 16 mil? Yeah. But I'm letting him hit restricted free agency. If a team wants to give him that, we'll match it. Pistons offering like 3 or 68 million would be hilarious. I don't think they would do that. Yeah, Najee's what, 8 million? Isn't that what Najee is? Did Najee get the full mid level? He asked for 14 mil. Grimes, do we know that for sure? NBA cap space. Let's just see real quick. Pistons didn't even play Grimes when they had him. How are we going to keep Grimes to pay carry this offseason? I mean, they could do that. They have the bird rights on both those guys. Yeah, very rarely. Restricted free agency almost never goes well for these guys. I mean, remember the PJ Washington saga? And what did he end up getting? 16 million, right? And that dragged out the entire offseason. And I would venture to guess PJ probably had theoretically a bigger market than what Quinton Grimes would, if I'm just being honest. So here's projected cap space next year across the league. Brooklyn's going to have $90 million. I'm interested to see what they do. Does Brooklyn look at a guy like Quinton Grimes and say, fuck it, we'll give you $20 million. Who cares? Maybe. I doubt it, though. Wizards, $40 million. Do they see Quinton Grimes say, here's $20 million? Pelicans. Do they need another guard unless they're making roster changes? Charlotte. Spurs is like kind of an interesting one, but are they like, they're probably going to be big game hunting rather than going for Quinton Grimes $20 million. Yeah, that's a great point too, Joe, with restricted free agency. They changed the rules a little bit, but are you comfortable having your cap space tied up and waiting for the Mavs to probably inevitably match a Quinton Grimes offer sheet? I really doubt it. They'll figure something out. Now, that's not saying that I guarantee Quinton Grimes will be on this team for 3, 4, or 5 years. I'm not saying that. Because to me, I could see a scenario where he gets a contract that the Mavs think is very tradable. Just thinking about how this front office moves. Will Cavs and OKC suck come playoffs due to shit running down too many legs? So what happened to the idea that, hey, you need some battle scars in the playoffs before you're really ready to go? Has that gone out the window? Because everything I see about the Cavs, that people talk about the Cavs, it's like, well, they shit their pants in the playoffs. It's like, well, yeah, maybe those were learning experiences, and now they're like ready. Now they've seen it. They've been in the playoffs. They have shit. They've had shit running down their legs in those moments, but now they're ready to go. Yeah, same thing with OKC. That's true. They had a whole lights are too bright meme dedicated to them. But nice win for the Mavs. I know we went off on a tangent about Quinton Grimes, but Jaden Hardy also was great in this game. 5 of 9 from 3. He's been scorching hot from 3 over the last couple of weeks. Best in the league since December 28th. And I mentioned this on Locked On. He's been over 50% each game in each of the last 7 games from 3. That number is crazy to me. 55% from 3 over his last 7 games. And again, in each and every game that he has played, he has been over 50% on 3. That's actually kind of nuts. Hardy has to be traded due to his rise in value. Since the famous not an NBA player comment, it's true. You're welcome, Jaden Hardy. You are welcome. But listen, I stand by what I said. It's bearing fruit. He has to be an elite three-point shooter. He has to be. He has to be. Now, I don't know, 55% from three, obviously, is very, very up there. Can I help you, bro? What? Do you need something from me? He usually doesn't come over here whenever I'm streaming or talking. He must have knocked over his water or something. Hardy in his last 7 games, 1.9 assists to 1.7 turnovers. Just knock down those threes. Just knock down those threes. That's all we care about. True, my cat is giving me the Hardy spiel. You said he wasn't an all-star. You said he wasn't an NBA player. Add a cat cam as a celebration to the Mavs win. I would do that, but he's on the move. I don't know where he is at any given moment. And he does not like being over here when I'm streaming. So, it's unfortunate. Put a GoPro on him. Well, he just walks around different areas of the apartment and sits down. It wouldn't be very exciting. Fitness saying fake run. Hardy sucks. He's saying trust the process slightly. Don't fall for the fake runs. Wow, Finn. That's fucked up, dude. Put some respect on his name. Put some respect. What else is there to talk about today? I mean, I'm very excited about the Cavs-Knicks game tonight. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm sorry, Thunder-Knicks game. Thunder-Knicks game. The Thunder, a week ago, these two teams played, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm in OKC. I don't know why I said Cavs. That'll be a good one. And I am also very interested in this Kings-Celtics game as well, because the Kings have won 5 straight games. And if they look competitive against the Celtics are 10.5-point favorites. But if they come out guns a-blazing, the Kings have had like a weird, you have the fired coach, interim coach boost. But then they've also played a slew of teams that are good on paper. Mavs, Sixers, Grizzlies, Warriors, Heat, 5-game stretch. You win all 5 of those. You see that 5-game winning streak like before the season, you're like, oh shit. Mavericks were without Luka, Kyrie, PJ Washington, Derek Lively, Klay Thompson, I believe, in this game. 76ers, obviously, without Joel Embiid. Grizzlies without John Morant. Warriors, I think we're healthy in this game. The Warriors just kind of stink right now. No Kuminga, but Heat with no Jimmy Butler. Very weird stretch. This is why when you look at strength of schedule and you try to project things and you look at, wow, look at this stretch. You never know. You really never know. So if we get Stewart or Bobby or Kevin, isn't that what we need against OKC? Kevin? Who's Kevin? Kevin who? Kevin Love? Kevin Durant? Like what? Who is Kevin? Kevin Herter? What Kevin are you talking about? Kevin Olynyk? Is that his brother? Kelly's evil twin brother. Oh, shit. The Olynyk guy, man. Give it a rest. Paul with the 2 never questioned Kevin. Would you rather the Mavs trade for Kevin or Kelly? Give me Kevin. Let me take the stab in the dark on an unknown. I'd rather take the stab in the dark. It's crazy the Suns are dead last in their division. Not that it matters. It's kind of funny. All right, we have some articles and stuff. Which one sounds juicy to you guys? NBA surprises and disappointments. We've got every team's toughest question ahead of the 2025 NBA trade deadline. That feels like a good one. Playing NBA trade fact or fiction with Jimmy Butler, Bradley Beal. That's it. Which one? We get Olynyk, it's over for the league. Toughest question one? All right. Shout out to our guy, Grant Hughes. Every team's toughest question ahead of the 2025 NBA trade deadline. Am I the only one who doesn't like Najee's on-ball defense? It's fine. We are only a few weeks away. It feels like things have stagnated greatly. It kind of felt like you got the MSB, welcome to the Saudi Delusional Club. It kind of felt like you got the Dennis Schroeder trade early and then the Dorian Finney-Smith trade, that maybe some teams, desperate teams like the Lakers and Warriors, that maybe teams were like, you know what, fuck it. We don't have time to wait until February. Let's get going on some trades. The Nets desperately needed to ship off parts because they were too good for their own good. And then it just kind of stagnated. Like, I thought the way things were moving, I was like, Cam Johnson might get traded very soon. It hasn't really happened. Haven't really heard much on that front. You had the Jimmy Butler saga, obviously. That was always going to play out. That was always the Jimmy Butler saga was always going to take a while. I'm saving Najee judgments until he's back for longer. Yeah, he was out for a very long time, and he was great early in the season. So, here we go. Atlanta Hawks, can they turn Larry Nance Jr. into a point guard? Paul with the 5. In the movie Cabin in the Woods, there is a whiteboard of horror supernatural monsters, and I kid you not, there is Kevin. Look it up. Cabin in the Woods. Kevin. Cabin in the Woods. Kevin. Who the hell is Kevin? Kevin is a monster kept in the facility. He was listed on the whiteboard, but was not bet on. It's unknown if he appeared during the system purge or not. I'm not going to lie. I've never watched Cabin in the Woods, so I don't know what I'm even looking at. But shout out to Kevin, though. Kevspiracy. Ooh. Larry Nance Jr. into a point guard. That would be interesting. $11.2 million. Trey Jones, TJ McConnell, and Trey Mann, all profiles, good additions to a team that could use another lead ball handler. God, I just feel like TJ McConnell's a little too important for what the Pacers have going on. Trey Jones, would the Spurs do that? I'm not sure. Trey Mann, maybe. We'll see. This would be an interesting trade because it would feel like if you're calling the Hawks a buyer, this would feel like a buyer for buyer trade. Like, I think a team wanting Larry Nance wants to use him. Larry Nance broke his hand. That's true. Trey Mann has been balling. Slightly such a reactionary fan. I am reactionary. Larry Nance will, like, it's not like he's going to be gone the whole season, though. Contract, Larry Nance is expiring $11 million. Very, very easily tradable contract. Boston Celtics, what do you get for a team that has everything? I mean, they're not going to do anything at the deadline, so there's no point in even really talking about them. How many first rounders can they secure? Yeah, Dennis Schroeder, Dorian Finney-Smith not getting first rounders back. That's not that much of a surprise. I thought maybe Dennis Schroeder, like if a team was really desperate, but not that much of a surprise. Cam Johnson absolutely will get you first round picks. The question is how many? Is the Cam Johnson return going to be like shocking? I doubt it. The way that the market's been, I kind of doubt that we're going to be like, whoa, what the fuck? 4 first rounders? Like, that's probably not going to happen. But Cam Johnson will absolutely get you a first rounder at bare minimum 2, I would say. 2 first rounders. Nick Claxton and Cam Thomas. Are they really blowing it up? Like, are they just stripping it down to nothing if they trade Nick Claxton and Cam Thomas as well? They traded for all their picks back. So, could they really bottom out? Claxton absolutely would get them a first. Cam Thomas for sure would get them a first. I'd bet Claxton definitely has more trade value for like a contending team than a Cam Thomas. But D'Angelo Russell heavily protected first? Maybe. Wait, what? Deshaun Watson ruptured his Achilles again? How does that even happen? Jesus. The ambitious goal should be to reel in 3 first rounders. If they really wanted to, I think they could get there. If you really wanted to, you could get there. Aaron Wiggins, Jang, and Kenrich Williams, 2 first-round picks for Cam Johnson. Who says no? In my slightly GM brain, I don't think either team says no to that. Really, I don't. You get a couple of first rounders. Aaron Wiggins is an interesting player. You could probably flip down the line or something. Ujman Jang, whatever. We'll take a stab on him. Kenrich Williams, whatever. We could flip maybe for some seconds or some shit like that. God, that would make that would be so good for the Thunder. So good. So good. Is it blasphemy to test the Lamelo Ball market? Let me tell you a big reason why they wouldn't do this. They are Charlotte. Okay, they're one of the smaller NBA markets. The reality of the matter at hand is they're not a team that you usually really check for. I want you guys to go look at NBA All-Star voting. LaMelo Ball is a super mega star. He is a super mega star. It sounds kind of crazy because it doesn't feel like he gets talked about in that way. But man, people love him. It's Generation Alpha. People absolutely love him. And I know what I'm saying. It's Generation Alpha. It's 10-year-olds. It's 14-year-olds. They fucking love him. He's currently, we had NBA All-Star voting returns come in yesterday. He's currently first in the Eastern Conference still as guards. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the Hornets would want to do that, to be honest with you. Oh, there you go. LaMelo Ball is leading East guards and All-Star fan voting, an indication that among some subsection of observers, he's viewed as one of the league's elite players, a Generation Alpha and Zoomers. LaMelo is Fortnite generation's GOAT. Yes, he is. I think he's incredible, honestly. I do. I think he's really fucking good. I don't think this is a fake stat, bad team situation. I think he's great. Magic and Houston Rockets have championship caliber defense. LaMelo on the Rockets would be kind of crazy, actually. I sort of feel like Ime Udoka would hate his guts, but I'm not entirely sure. I could see LaMelo on the Rockets. That would be a huge get for them. Orlando, that fits a little bit more interesting. He's there with Luka as the tallest guy who could be the shortest player on your team. Yeah, that's true as well. His positional size is great. I don't know. If Brandon Miller were having like a better season, healthier season, better season, then maybe I could kind of see like we're giving the keys to Brandon Miller entirely. And that's going to be it. But I'm not sure. I don't like that. I wouldn't like them trading LaMelo Ball, at least not right now. Chicago Bulls, could Zach LaVine actually stay put? This is the funniest trade saga ever. Zach LaVine to the Rockets. Zach LaVine to the Rockets. Zach LaVine to the Rockets. Why would Charlotte trade LaMelo for Reed Shepherd and scraps? Well, I'm assuming in this scenario you'd probably get a fuck ton of first round picks as well. I mean, he's got $45 million next year, a $48 million player option, 26, 27 that he's almost certainly taking, Zach LaVine. So if you don't trade him this year, there's still years left of trade rumors for him. More trade rumors, LaVine or Miles Turner. God, Miles Turner. When was his rookie season? 2014, 2015? Thoughts on the guy's name Todd? What's Todd short for? When you get into a name that's only 4 letters long, you have to ask what's it short for. Is Todd short for anything? Todd Thew. Todd is most commonly used as nicknames for the name Theodore. Okay, so if your name is Theodore, I will straight up say Theodore is a sick name. Just go by Theodore. Theo. Todd. Not a name I have too many strong opinions on, actually, to be honest with you. Not a name I have too many strong opinions on. I do think, too, when your name's you 3-letter, 4-letter name, you have to start asking, what is this short for? And then at what point do you say, I'm ditching the 4-letter name and moving on? Toddler? Theo's cool. Theo's a cool name to shorten. I like Theo. Your name is 4 letters. Cole. Yeah, but that's a cool name, though. Cole's a cool name. See, my first name is 3 syllables, and I like it. It feels like when people address me, they have to really think about it. Really put effort into saying my name. It's a power move. Could Zach LaVine stay put? Yes, he absolutely could. All right, we're spending too long on some of these. Is this shooting for real? The Cleveland Cavaliers, 40% from 3 as a team. What are they? 40%. Absolutely crazy. They don't miss from 3. I mean, it'll probably tick down a little bit, but Darius Garland's having a great year. I mean, we talked a lot about the weird situation he found himself in last year. With the jaw problem, there were doctors who were saying that athletes clench on their jaws so often as a way to help generate more force. This has been scientifically proven. And that a jaw injury can really disrupt that. And now he's back and just having an unbelievable season. 43% from 3. That'll probably go down. Mobley's having a career year from 3. I mean, the thing is they move the ball so incredibly well, and so many of their looks are so clean that maybe you can pencil him in to dip a little bit. Donovan Mitchell's 41% from 3. I mean, that sounds right to me. Darius Garland, 43% from 3. Strus, 38% from 3. That's small sample size. Strus has made his return recently, but Sam Merrill's 34% from 3. You can maybe even expect that number to tick up. So there's some guys where you can expect some numbers to tick up. Mitchell hasn't been playing that well, I feel like, and they're still winning. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's been incredible. Wouldn't trust Mobley's shot in the playoffs, though. No, that's when you start to get into some problems. I mean, the thing about the Cavs trade-wise is it's like, what do they even have to do? You know? Yeah, the Karis LeVert one is the one. Karis LeVert's at 44% from 3. That's going to go down. That's going to go down. Cam Johnson on the Cavs would be absolutely insane. I don't even know how you get there, though. Okoro is 47% from 3, but that feels fraudulent as well. Cole Palmer, I know who Cole Palmer is. The Cavs are playing out of their mind right now, and you hope that they're not peaking too soon, but they're a very well-built team, and they also just, if you look at the contracts and stuff like that, they don't have the moves really. They don't have the contracts to make a big trade. They just don't, without breaking up their core four, which they're not going to do. Dallas and Karis LeVert's very big for them. So if you're trading him, it has to be for a real legitimate upgrade. Who is this year's PJ Washington? The Dallas Mavericks can trade up to 2 first-round picks and have a couple mid-sized salaries. Maxi Kleber is $11 million. Quinton Grimes, $4 million. I'd be shocked if they trade Quinton Grimes. Maxey, obviously, yes. Tony, guys, I don't see the Mavs even making a trade, to be honest with you. Former Mav Dorian Finney-Smith would have been an ideal option, and all he cost Los Angeles Lakers was expiring salary and second rounders. That Dallas didn't make a play for him suggests it isn't keen on spending his remaining draft equity just yet. Well, I don't know. Dorian obviously makes sense to what this guy's saying, but I don't know if he's the answer this team was looking for. If you're trading for a guy, it has to be a Maxey upgrade, somebody who can be very versatile defensively, can play the 4, can maybe play some small ball 5 minutes. Those guys do not grow on trees at all. Because I'm telling you right now, if you trade Maxey, you got to replace that. There's not another guy on the Mavs roster, outside of PJ, I guess, who can do those things. The Mavs rely on him. He is important to the team, okay? Omax is nowhere near ready. Nowhere near ready. Or you need to go get like a real dog at the point of attack. And I'm not sure who that guy is. And preferably one who's not a complete and total black hole offensively. Like if you were to throw Matisse Thybulle's name out there. I'm not looking at Fanspo. Cam Johnson would be sick. I don't know. I don't know if the Mavs have a good enough offer. I mean, Herb Jones would be sick. It's not happening. Kelly Olynyk. No, I don't want Kelly Olynyk. I don't want Kelly Olynyk, bro. I do not want Kelly Olynyk. Santi Aldama, yeah, Santi Aldama is interesting. I don't know what his trade market is, if he's actually on the market. I really don't know. Like if the Grizzlies are trading Santi Aldama, I'd have to imagine it's in an effort to improve their roster. So I'm not sure what that looks like. Would you throw in Grimes for Cam? Quinton Grimes or Cam Johnson? Yes, I would. Sorry. Denver Nuggets. Can Jamal Murray play at an all-star level? Detroit Pistons. What's the best use of that $14.1 million? Yeah, they have a $14.1 million trade exception. Was that the Tim Hardaway Jr. trade? I'm interested to see what they do. Cade's playing at an unbelievable level. Absolutely all-star. Absolutely an all-star. Who's available out there? If the Miami Heat move Jimmy Butler or the Chicago Bulls trade Zach LaVine, there's a good chance the Pistons will get looped in. So they can be like one of these teams where send me your scraps. Maybe we can get some draft compensation for bringing in a contract. I think that's a smart front officing. Lamar Jackson gets a nod for All-Pro. Oh, shit. Does that mean he's going to win MVP? Oh, that doesn't mean much. I'm interested to see what the Pistons do at the deadline, actually. Golden State Warriors, should they trade for Jimmy Butler? I mean, should they? Future-wise, probably not, no. However, if your idea is, man, we got to go out swinging with Clay or with Steph. We can't have the closing years of Steph's career go out like this. I do think it makes some sense to trade for Jimmy Butler. I don't think it makes them a championship favorite or anything like that, or even really a real contender. But it does make them better. It does address some huge areas of need for them. And the trade package does make some sense. I don't know what they're doing with Jonathan Kuminga. Something does not pass the sniff test there at all. You think it's safe to drive to the donut store? I really don't know. I haven't looked too much outside yet. It makes sense from their perspective. It doesn't make sense absolutely. No, I mean, it's a trade that you would look at and say that was a desperate team doing a desperate thing. And that's exactly what it is. I think Kuminga's leaving in free agency. Well, that would be a disaster. That's not happening. The thing is do they pay him however much money he wants? And they've already shown that they do not want to do that. It's just strange talking out of two sides of their mouth. Hey, Jonathan Kuminga's like the future of our franchise post Steph Curry. But also, like, we don't want to pay him what he wants, though. Which is the right thing. The second thing is the right thing. And he is restricted. Yes, he is restricted. So either a desperate team is going to trade for Jimmy or a young team that wants him to help a young core going to trade for him. Yeah, but we talked about this a few days ago. What team does that? Like the Houston Rockets? Are they jeopardizing their young core to bring in Jimmy Butler? I'm really not sure. Like you're bringing in a distressed asset who has burnt bridges like pretty much everywhere he's been at in his career. Yeah, Najee Marshall and Retna were going at it on Twitter. Unbelievable. I'd bring in Jimmy Butler as 1 year rental for Fred VanVleet. That opens up another hole, though. Houston Rockets, can they score enough? No, they can't. Yes, their top 10 offensive rating is a fluke of epic proportions. The real question, here's the real question for the Houston Rockets. What is your end goal this year? Truthfully, you can always say we're competing for a championship. Everyone's going to say that. But truthfully, deep down, is your end goal, dude, the West, it's kind of this weird year in the West. Wemby's going to get here at some point. We know that for sure. Like maybe this could be a sneaky year for us. We can defy all odds. Maybe we can defy all odds and make a deep run. Or is your end goal, hey, we're exceeding everyone's expectations during the regular season. We want to see what we got in the playoffs, and we want to see who we can rely on in a playoff setting before we make any big changes. Think about like what the Oklahoma City Thunder did last year. That's probably what it is. But I'm not sure. We know they were aggressive for Kevin Durant in the trade market last year. We know that they were interested in Mikal Bridges. So maybe they could be aggressive. But to answer this question, no, they cannot score enough. Devin Booker? True. It wasn't KD. Wendy was wrong. Who was it? Was it D-Book then? The Rockets trading for all of the Suns picks is so funny. I mean, that's one of the funnier GM moves in quite some time. Just hanging it over their heads. Hey, the moment you guys tear it down, we're here. The moment you guys are ready, we're ready. Booker absolutely matches their timeline. Booker isn't good enough? No, I think Booker on this Rockets team would be fucking disgusting. That would be nasty in a good way. No. Make no mistake, RTC. I thought it was a good trade as well. I'm just saying it was funny. Indiana Pacer, who needs to go if Miles Turner stays? Last year was a good year for Miles Turner. Didn't find himself in any trade rumors, any trade talks. Everything was good for the Pacers. And they've been playing better basketball lately. But welcome back to the trade talks, Miles Turner. Oh, man. Miles Turner will enter unrestricted free agency this summer. If Indiana Pacers want to keep him, they might need to make some tough decisions right now. As it stands, annual will be roughly $20 million below the luxury tax in 25-26. And that's before considering the cost of a possible Ben Math extension and salaries for any draft picks. Wow. It's hard to imagine the historically tax-averse Pacers will be able to bring back Turner cheaply enough to duck the penalty. Does that mean Indiana will consider trading Obi Toppin? Yes. Might larger moves involving Mather and Jarris Walker be on the table? What about TJ McConnell? The Pacers can move off his $10.2 million for 25-26 while taking back expiring money. That can make a market rate re-signing of Turner possible. Ugh, not a fun place to be in. That would suck to be an Indiana fan. Like, we just made the conference finals, and now we had a slow start to the season for sure, but it feels like maybe we're turning a corner. You know, what's our ceiling this season? Not high, obviously. But 4-game winning streak, 7-3 over your last 10. You're 20-18 now. and our team doesn't want to pay the luxury tax. Yeah, we did see Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles again. Obi Toppin feels like the clear, obvious candidate to get traded. The Mavs are not in the market for Miles Turner. He is a former Mav, though. Shout out to Miles Turner. I think I'd maybe put Obi Toppin in the former Mavs. He gets talked about all the time. LA Clippers, what can Kawhi Leonard contribute? They are, I don't want to call them a sleeping giant because that's saying too much. But if you get like 80% of Kawhi Leonard and he's healthy, it's a good basketball team. It really is. Really solid. Like not a team you want to play at all. But then the question is, how comfortably can we rely on Kawhi Leonard? The answer to that question is not comfortably whatsoever. Talked about all the time, like Kelly Olynyk. Yeah, Kelly Olynyk is a former Mavs. Los Angeles Lakers, are they done dealing? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Will Lakers decide the heist they pulled at adding Dorian Finney-Smith? Heist? But that's running a first rounder is the only move they need. That felt very market value. I'm not sure about a heist. Oh, yeah, we'll do the NFL. Thank you for saying that. We'll do the NFL bracket predictions. Los Angeles quietly kept its first round pick powder dry over the last couple of deadlines, but what if the deal that brought in Finney-Smith for D'Angelo Russell leaves it too short on playmaking? Austin Reeves has been stellar in the point guard role. He really has. Got hunted defensively against the Mavs, but Reeves has been good. And LeBron can certainly handle on-ball duties himself. They need a big, dude. They need a big. That's what they need. They need a big. Who do you think Finney-Smith is? That felt like not a steal, nothing. It just felt like pretty fair market value there. Is this a Jonas Valanciunas situation? Gaffney for LeBron seems fair to me. Yeah. Dwight Powell for Cam Reddish. Is this a Vucevic situation? We'll have to wait and see. Zion and his father both said he hated being drafted by a terrible franchise like Pelicans and said he wanted to go to Dallas or New York. When? When was this said? It's a Daniel Tice situation. Spending a first on Dorian Finney-Smith's expiring contract would be a bad move. Unless it was like what the Grizzlies apparently were offering, which was a stupid, heavily protected first. Is there a player you want from the Lakers? I mean, not really. I mean, a player who's like maybe on the trade market? I can't really think of too many. Rui? Man, there's just something about Rui. Memphis Grizzlies, is the offense a gimmick? Anyone who says NBA offenses are all the same hasn't watched the Memphis Grizzlies this season. No team utilizes the pick and roll less frequently. Yes. Very, very interesting team. The Grizzlies space the floor and rely on one-on-one attacks to bend the defense, at which point the four players off ball rotate in unison. Memphis leads the league in drives per game and is tied for the lead in assists and free throw attempts generated on those play types. Is it gimmicky? Well, if their past playoff performances have given us any indicator, yeah. Pretty gimmicky. Now, it's not to say, I said with the Cavs, like, hey, we always expect these teams to have bumps and bruises in the playoffs before they're really ready to go. So that could be true as well with the Grizzlies. But I don't know how reliable that can be in a postseason setting. That's why I love the idea of Jimmy Butler there. Just give you another guy who knows what the fuck he's doing with the ball in his hands. especially in a playoff setting. Go and get a bucket. Go and make the right play offensively. The Grizzlies are tired in the last 5 minutes. Who are they going to now or tied in the last 5 minutes? Who are they going to now for scoring in a series? I mean, Ja Morant when he's healthy. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr.'s been great so far this season, but it is a very, very interesting team, a very interesting dynamic. And you do have to wonder, like you said, late in a playoff game, the defenses are locked in. The floor is shrunk. Are you going to be able to generate enough offense? Grizzlies aren't beating the Mavs, OKC, or Rockets in a series. We'll see. I think there are some trades that they could maybe make at the deadline that make me perk up a little bit. But what's the ideal return in a Jimmy Butler trade? Anything but Bradley Beal. Next question. Milwaukee Bucks, is there a Bobby Portis upgrade available? Former Mav. Just remember, guys, there was a proposed trade, Grant Williams for Bobby Portis, that thank God did not happen last year. Because I don't know what the Mavs look like if that went down. God, I don't know. I really have no idea what I feel about the Milwaukee Bucks, dude. They kill Bobby. That picture, look at his eyes, man. I mean, that's how he always looks. Bobby Portis just ain't it. Yet again, a candidate for sixth man of the year with his average of 16 points per game. I'm sorry. You can't watch the games and tell me that Bobby Portis should be winning sixth man of the year. The Bucks took PJ. Would they be a contender? Like PJ over Bobby Portis, if they had PJ over Bobby Portis? Is that what you're saying? Wow, if they could swing Kobe White, that would actually be great. Is Kobe White on the market? Okay, that could be interesting if they get a guard like that. They really need guards. They need somebody who could score. No, as a Bulls fan, he's not. I mean, I'd be surprised if he got traded, Kobe White. Especially a team like the Bulls that is notorious for not trading guys. Why are Mavs fans thirsting for Bobby Portis, Kelly Olynyk, Obi Toppin, Larry Nance Jr.? Because they want the dopamine hit of a trade. That's it. They want the dopamine hit. Is Nick going to get you one of those locked on Carhartt jackets? Yeah, I hope so. Those things are nice. Those are slick, huh? Robert Williams could be interesting. I keep forgetting about him. $12.4 million. Robert Williams. Robert Williams is also somebody like on the Lakers I think would be really nice. But what is his 12 games so far this season? Always injured. Always injured. I mean, dude, this is crazy. He's played regular season wise. He's played. Doing some quick math in my head here. Never goes well. 53 games total in the last 3 years in the regular season. That is crazy. Should Julius Randle be shopped? Yes. Next question. I mean, the question is who out there is looking at Julius Randle's $30 million saying, yeah, we want that. And you know what, Minnesota? Not only do we want that, but we're going to give you like something pretty valuable in return that you would want on your roster. Randle to the Heat. It's expiring. Well, he's got a player option next year, which at this rate, I think he probably is going to pick up, right? So you have to factor that into the equation. I can't see a move out there. Randle is better than Beal. The Heat would love that return. How does that work contractually, though? You're saying Jimmy to the Timberwolves? I don't think the Timberwolves can do that. I looked into it. It pretty much has to be Gobert because they're a second apron team, aren't they? Are the Timberwolves a second apron team? Or do they get out of it when they trade a cat? Watching Randle and Gobert on the floor together is disgusting to watch in a bad way. Their defense has picked up. I mean, they're a great defensive team still. But yeah, their offense is just not it. But I don't really know. I mean, Mike Conley having this age hitting him like a fucking ton of bricks is really hurting them. Rob Dillingham being hurt lately is hurting them as well. What do you think about us getting Naz Reid as in the Mavs? I don't see that as a possibility. Randle be perfect, but they need to throw Gafford and Najee. Why would Randle be perfect? What exactly about Julius Randle makes him perfect for the Dallas Mavericks besides you just wanting a trade? Besides you just desperately wanting a trade to hit your notifications. New Orleans Pelicans, what are the odds of an Ingram sign and trade this summer? Ingram is one of the strangest players in a long time. Like, everyone agrees his market's kind of good. Everyone agrees he's a good player. Probably make 30 million, 40 million maybe in the summer. But then it's like, we all agree. Like, everyone kind of agrees that that's what his market is. Like, that's what he deserves. But then it's like, who wants to pay him that, though? And then everyone's like, well, not me. I don't really want to pay him that. He's a free agent who gets injured a lot. Gets injured a lot, has a weird play style where obviously if he's your best player, your go-to guy, you're probably not good. But also, how good is he as a second or third option? Does he do all the things? Does he do all of the things that you want a second or third option to do? He's shown some flashes. But I don't know. We'll see. I feel like he's not getting traded. It seems like there's next to zero market. Maybe teams are waiting to see what happens with Jimmy Butler before they tap into the Brandon Ingram thing again. But I could see the walkaway risk is terrifying. That is true. But we looked at the teams that have salary, that have cap space to spend in the offseason, and I can't see, like, the Brooklyn Nets. Are they going to throw a bag at Brandon Ingram? Why would they do that? The Wizards, the Hornets, I don't know. The Spurs are maybe kind of an interesting one. I could kind of talk myself into the Spurs if his market ends up being lesser and the Spurs have like 30 million to spend. The Mavs, no. Is Mitchell Robinson a key player or a trade chip? That is a tough question. I'm swiping Gafford for Naj straight up with a couple of seconds, but why would the Timberwolves do that though? Mitchell Robinson was once a key to New York's offensive success, albeit a very different way from Towns. When the Knicks ranked 2nd and 7th on offense in the 2 years prior to this one, they did it on the strength of elite offensive rebounding. Of course, he could also be used to trade for an upgrade elsewhere. I think you just, if a trade pops up, a trade pops up. And you use Mitchell Robinson's money. When Mitch Rob is healthy, he's a gaff level. Yeah, I mean, he does address a lot of their needs if he's healthy and on the court. A defensive first guard or a defensive big man with a cleaner health record, but who's available though? I've seen Mitchell Robinson for Robert Williams trade offers before on Twitter, and I'm like, that's the most hilarious fucking mock trade there is. Like, that's hilarious. Let's trade an injured guy for another injured guy. Have you watched Plumlee? Not notice he's open to dunk but kicks out? Yes. That game that they lost against the Hornets, his one shot attempt was him passing up a wide open layup and instead deciding to foul bait against Cody Martin and missing. Hilarious. I really like this Knicks team, by the way. I think they're really good. What do you like? If they don't do anything, if they end up just bringing, like, hey, Mitch Robinson, we're going to ease you into things. We really need you to be healthy come playoff time, and that's what they do. I still feel really good about their team, to be honest with you. What do you see the logjam doing with Exum back? Knicks can't win it all with just 5 guys. I mean, I agree, but they have like options on their roster right now that I think they could play. That's just Thibodeau. What do you see the logjam doing with Exum back, Spence, and Hardy? Exum's probably going to have to earn some minutes, if I had to guess. Okay, so you should get fined for hoarding picks. Are they really keeping all those first rounders? No. Remember my predictions for 2025? They make a big trade at the deadline. Cam Johnson, it makes all the fucking sense in the world. It literally makes all the sense in the world. Cam Johnson is a king. I could see that as well. The Thunder have like 4 first-round picks this upcoming draft. Yeah, they're going to make a trade at some point, whether that's now or in the offseason. But they're not going to have, 4 new first-rounders on their team. And knowing the Thunder, I don't know. Maybe they package those and trade for future firsts. That's kind of their energy as well. That's kind of what they do as well. Which defensive first piece can bring back some shooting for the Orlando Magic? Some of you guys in the chat said D'Lo buyout. Is that a real thing? We kind of have talked about in the past D'Lo on the Magic. If it were a buyout situation, the Orlando Magic ranked 26 on offense and 2nd on defense this season. Hey, Paolo's coming back tonight. Yes, they're not a good offense. They're not a great offensive team, even with those guys back. But Jonathan Isaac is a game-wrecking defensive force, arguably the most disruptive per menace, not Victor Wembanyama division in the league. And you know what? Orlando can afford to trade him. Teams with a glut of playmakers and shooters could easily talk themselves into taking Isaac's palatable deal, $25 million this year, $15 million in 25-26, in exchange for some offensive firepower. I do agree with that. Now the question is who? $25 million. Who out there fits that mold? This would be another one of these contender trades. Because you're only taking Isaac to help improve your roster for the time being. What team is going to cut into their shooting to make it happen? Cam Johnson on the Magic would also be sick. I mean, Cam Johnson's one of those players where, yes, every team in the league, put him on, and you're like, okay. Maxey for Isaac straight up can't work contractually. I mean, what about Wendell Carter Jr.? Is he someone who could get traded as well? I would do Maxey and Gafford for Isaac. Maxey and Exum, I don't think could work either. Isaac's making $25 million. Maxey, Gafford, 2025 pick swap. First and a second for Turner Jackson. Who is Turner Jackson, bro? You're in such like a rush to make a trade happen, but you're just making up guys. Who's Turner Jackson? Isaac is making $18 million. No, he's making $25 million this year. No, Orlando is not going to fucking want Maxi Kleber and Dante Exum. I need to, I know I've been talking about it, but I really need to deep dive into who might be available for trade. Will Embiid hold up for a playoff run? Is now the time to trade Kevin Durant? This is a question for the Phoenix Suns. Oh, man. Honest to God, you want the honest answer to this question? Probably. If you were to salvage anything with this team, probably. But knowing Matt Ishbia, they're going to do, I mean, bring in Jimmy Butler. And then who else could we add to this mix? Could we do it to figure out how to get Julius Randle in here? Let's figure out some clever maneuvering. Let's bring in Jimmy Butler. Who else? Julius Randle. I mean, what other shit-ass contracts can we get into the mix here? Zach LaVine. Definitely. I was about to say, let's get DeMar in the building. Can we get DeMar DeRozan in the building? Sun's going for the third apron. What does Phoenix do with Nurkic? I mean, try your ass off to trade him. Good luck. No one's going to want that. My God, their roster's a fucking mess, dude. I mean, we knew it. We knew it was going to be. Trading Kevin Durant is the cleanest way to make back half of the back half of the 2020s bearable. I mean, if I were playing NBA 2K, which you're not, I would look at this Suns team and say, man, I'm tearing this shit down to the ground. Right? That's NBA 2K. That's not real life. But NBA 2K, it's like, let me get 4 or 5 first rounders for Devin Booker. Let me get 3 first rounders and whatever else for Kevin Durant. And let's get the hell out of here. Like, let's get off of this shit. Maybe in an effort to, like, recoup assets. Well, I was going to say maybe we trade Beal for another bad contract, but Beal's contract's as bad as it gets. We're already going to be shitty. If you want to take use of Nurkic, we'll take back, like, a worse contract for maybe some draft compensation. Like, whatever the case may be. That would be my NBA 2K pitch. My real life pitch, though, they have no controllable draft assets pretty much for the next decade. For the remainder of the decade, I guess I should say. They're not blowing this shit up. Like, try like hell to make a Beal for Jimmy Butler trade happen. And I would say turn Yusuf Nurkic into a better center. I don't think that's really possible. So I'm hitting up the Wizards and I'm saying, hey, Nurkic for Valanciunas, what else do we need to add to make this happen? And I'm seeing if I can make that happen. Because that's the move. Is it gross? Yes. Do any of those things make you a real contender? No. But I mean, you can imagine a Jimmy Butler, D-Book, KD trio. It's pretty gross. But then think about your future. 36-year-old Kevin Durant, who you're paying $1 trillion. Well deserved. He's awesome when he plays. Devin Booker has had a lot of minutes in his career. Only, 28 years old? 28 years old. Just turned 28. Happy belated. But has played a ton of NBA minutes. And he's starting to look like the Devin Booker stuff. I mean, he's still great. He still has moments. But it is starting to become kind of weird. Like, are we like on the back end of Devin Booker's career now? Is it like prime-wise? Surely not, right? And then let's say you do make the Jimmy Butler trade. Bring in another 36-year-old who this guy burned every bridge that he's ever been on. And now you're paying him $50 million. What a shit show that is. Is Jeremy Grant already a negative value asset? Should have traded him last year. These teams that always think that they're one-upping other teams by not trading, these shit teams by not trading guys when they have the opportunity. I cannot believe they wouldn't take a first from the Lakers. Did that end up being true? I feel like some of those reports you can never believe, like, fully. $29 million this year, $32 million next year, $34 million the year after, and then a $36 million player option. Remember that 5-year contract extension he signed? Wah, 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 wah. 30 years old. How much of this, though, is just being in Portland? Maybe if you put him on a contending team, he plays differently. A little bit more locked in. But they probably missed their window to get off this contract and get real value in return. They probably absolutely missed it. What to do with De'Aaron Fox if you're the Kings? Well, you just ride this winning streak. I mean, who knows? Trading De'Aaron Fox 1,000% feels like an offseason move. That would be kind of a crazy midseason decision. They would have to be really bottoming out in the next month or so. I just can't imagine a world where they make that decision now. Offseason, yes. That feels like a move you make in the offseason. You really weigh the market. You give teams an opportunity to say, hey, like, we're going to trade De'Aaron Fox. That's something that will absolutely change the trajectory of your franchise if you make that trade. If you're on the receiving end of a De'Aaron Fox trade, get your packages together. No, De'Aaron Fox is not restricted. He's under contract for next season. So that's what I'm saying. And then the following offseason, he will be unrestricted. And there is a looming giant, I will say, for some of these teams. There's the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat will have enough cap space in a couple of seasons to make a play for a big guy. It's kind of this shadow looming over the league where, you look at the guys who have money this year. It's like, oh, what are you going to do? Like if De'Aaron Fox were an unrestricted free agent this offseason, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to go play in Charlotte? Huh? You going to go to Brooklyn? Really? All right, go. Best of luck to you. Do you think Ingram signs with Dallas on a 1-year prove-it deal similar to Tyus Jones? I do not think Brandon Ingram will be getting a minimum contract, no. Someone's going to do what the Knicks did to us. But the Miami Heat are going to have money to spend when De'Aaron Fox hits unrestricted free agency. That's worrisome for the Kings. And if you're an agent looking for some leverage, there you go. Hey, the Heat have money next year. Just saying. De'Aaron Fox likes it. Likes the sunny beaches of Miami, Florida. Are Portland building around Anthony? No. Portland's just trying to put together as much young talent as possible and then figure it out from there. San Antonio Spurs wins Wemby's window. Now, if you want it to be, honest to God. If De'Aaron Fox were available, yeah, that makes a ton of sense for the Spurs. The nice thing about Wemby, though, like being the center, being a big, is that just gives you so much flexibility in the trade market. Like, there's so many different directions you could go if you wanted to. I like De'Aaron Fox on the Spurs. I love De'Aaron Fox on the Rockets. I think this summer's going to be nuts. I really do. If they wanted to, if De'Aaron Fox were available now and they're like the 10 seed, 9 seed around the trade deadline, and they go get De'Aaron Fox, I feel like Fox on the Rockets is a bad fit. Bunch of non-shooters. No, I think it would work. Fox makes it work with not great spacing, but it's a go-to bucket getter, which they desperately need. Toronto Raptors, is anyone out there remember Bruce Brown? They'll get something for Bruce Brown. What? I'm not entirely sure. He'll for sure be traded, though. When do they want to start winning? The question for the Utah Jazz. How do you even answer that? Not now. Probably not next year either. They can be the landing spot for some of the league's worst contract, but the length and size of the deals they absorb will depend on when they intend to start winning games again. For example, Utah could package up some combination of John Collins, Jordan Clarkson, and Colin Sexton to match salary on a sizable contract. All three of those players come off the books by the summer of 26. with Collins potentially hitting free agency this July via a player option. If the Jazz have the stomach for unwanted money that extends beyond that timeline, they could extract some serious draft capital in the bargain. Is there a pathway? Jimmy to the Suns, Beal's not going to waive his no trade clause to go to Utah, though. That's the problem. I was going to say Beal to the Heat, and then Beal gets rerouted with some draft capital. But then why in the fuck would the Heat do that? I guess maybe the idea is we could still contend and be competitive if we go get some guys like this from the Heat, or from the Jazz, but I don't know. The Jazz are in a very strange spot. They need to get lucky in the lottery this year. They need to find like a legit, this upcoming draft. It'd be nice to find like that franchise cornerstone young guy, because they don't really have it right now. I know Lowry's great and everything, but would we be surprised if Lowry's still on the Jazz in 2 years, truthfully? I know he wants to be there and everything, but last one, Washington Wizards. Are the adults still necessary? No, nothing's necessary in Washington. Just whatever. I know having vets is nice. Any team that will give you draft capital for anybody, goodbye. That's it for the Wizards. Any team want any of these guys? You do? All right, here you go. That is it. You sign guys like Jonas Valanciunas with the idea being, we will trade you at some point. I guarantee you that was said during the negotiations. We will trade you to a contender at some point. Don't worry. Your career will not be with the Washington Wizards. Kuzma to OKC. I can't believe that the Kuzma Dallas thing is just hilarious that happened the way it did. Just hilarious. All right, folks. That's going to do it for me. For listening to this on Spotify, leave a 5-star review. I love you. I'd love Bilal on the Mavs. I know that's not happening. No. Kuzma should rot in DC. I could see like the Kings going back for Kuzma makes sense. I think there's actually still a world where Kuzma has a nice contract that ascends every year. Like there's definitely a world where Kuzma ends up on a contending team. And does help out for sure. The question is where. Kuzma feels like a lifetime Wizard. I mean, there's definitely a world where things don't go the way they did for the Mavs, and they're back in the Kuzma market this year. But I don't think so this time. 27% from three. I know, but it's just the Wizards are this situation where it's like, do I take anything, any statistical stuff from this season for the Wizards? What do I do with that information? If I'm bringing in Kyle Kuzma, who's not having a great year with the Wizards, that much is certain, but who is also like, I mean, no offense, playing next to a lot of dog shit. Like, if in my theoretical scenario, I'm bringing him in, he's going to be the 4th, 5th guy. Maybe he's coming off the bench for us. It's really different. Do we really feel Kuz would fit in a winning environment? I mean, he did. He won a championship. That was a long time ago, I know, but he literally did. The Wizards would trade anyone outside the 3 rookies and Bilal. Yeah. I mean, as they should. We will see. Wing rotation of PJ, Najee, and Kuz would be interesting. Wasn't there a report that said the Mavs were not interested in Kuz again this year? $23 million. That would have to be a weird trade. That would have to be a strange trade for the Mavs, contractually. It'd have to be Maxey and then probably Gafford. Which at that point, not all that interested in that. Clay, Cleveland plus a couple seconds for Kuzma. They're not trading Clay. They're not. And honest to God, they probably shouldn't. In a 2K world, maybe that makes sense. But in the real world where relationships matter and your reputation around the league matters, they're not doing something like that. That would kind of be insane. Can't trade Clay because it'll look bad on the Mavs. Yeah. Grant Williams was different. Clay is like a respected player across the league. Like that would be a bad look in my opinion. And also, I've shown you guys this. The Mavs are just much better when Clay's on the court. His spacing is really important. Clay will retire a Mav. See, I don't know about that necessarily, but not 5 months into his contract. You want to know, I think Clay retires a Warrior. But I don't know if it's going to be one of those one-day contracts or maybe he gets like one last hoorah. Clay looks unmotivated with the Mavs. I don't see that. I think he really enjoys being here. I mean, he's got 3 years left on his deal. By the time his deal's over, he'll be 37. Like, very well could be his last contract. It's kind of crazy. Clay's a career low from 3 so far this season, and it doesn't feel like it. Like, it doesn't really feel like it. That's why this championship window is so small. Championship windows are always small. They really are. Besides a few small exceptions over the course of NBA history, championship windows are always super small. You like to think in your brain they are forever. They're always incredibly small. Not for OKC. I mean, even for OKC, they're gonna. It's everything is roses right now for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but there's going to come a time when Chet's making, $40-50 million. J-Dub's making $40-50 million. Shai's making $40-50 million. And things become a little bit more interesting. And if, J-Dub struggles in the playoffs again or hasn't really solidified himself as that go-to guy in the postseason setting, interesting. Thoughts on Obi Toppin? I don't have any thoughts. I really don't. They do have the assets to pivot whenever they want now. Why are people stuck on the minutes that Clay played when our role players were shining without the need of him on the court? The better the team, the harder to keep intact. I mean, who knows? I'm not saying the Thunder will end up having a short window. They could have a huge window. I really don't know. But let's look at. Would you consider the Denver Nuggets window open? People on podcasts talked about them after they won the championship as like a team that might end up being a dynasty. It would be better if you could change your picture in the thumbnail from one video to another to differentiate. What do you mean? I do change the thumbnails. The things really picked up when I do love you, Kevin Olynyk guy. I do love you. Things really picked up when Clay went to the bench last night. Good move by the kid to bench him in the last fourth quarter. Yeah, he didn't have a good game last night. Clay comes off the bench. Grimes starts. I like Clay at the starting lineup, but I do think the numbers do say Clay, like staggering Clay with Luka and Kyrie. I mean, the numbers are the numbers. They're very successful when that's the case. The cigar picture of yourself is the same every time. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I do need to update it. How much does Grimes get this offseason if Mavs pay him? Are they an apron team? That's the $1 million question. They're going to have to they're going to have to give Luka an extension. That won't count on next year's cap. But Kyrie is probably going to end up being a max. You kind of had some leverage the last time he was a free agent. This time you're probably not going to have any. Now Kyrie's opting out of his player option and re-upping. Maybe there's a world where he doesn't take the max and it kind of helps you out financially, but that would be a little surprising. Because how old is Kyrie? 32? He's probably going to want, as he should, he's probably going to want his 4 or 5 year deal. But other than that, though, contractually, the Mavs, I mean, Jaden Hardy's on a very friendly contract. You did a good job on that extension. I look across the league. I look at who has money. I don't see a team throwing a stupid ass number at Quinton Grimes. I really don't. And I could be wrong here. I could be wrong. But I don't see that. You got Luka at $45 million. That's his number next year. And then, of course, a player option in 26, 27. Obviously, he'd opt out of that. But the hope and dreams, and number one goal this offseason has to be Luka Doncic supermax extension. Kyrie Irving player option. He will opt out of that. Bring him back. Klay Thompson, $16 million next year. It's a fine number. $14 million for Big Gaff. Now, Gaff's going to be an interesting guy to watch because he's unrestricted 26, 27. After next year, he's unrestricted. So the question then becomes, can I ask a question? I know I'm rambling and I'm losing a train of thought here, but again, I have just ESPN on this monitor off to the side. What's up with all of these commercials? The new commercials, which is like the fake podcast. This Experian commercial is so fucking terrible. Such a bad advertisement. So bad. New thumb, close-up shot slightly with the cigars, embers, force shortened towards the camera. Big Gaffney. Probably, what is this? Is this like an estimation for how much money they're going to make? Is that what this is? What does this mean? Or is this their holds? Okay, this is their hold. This is their cap hold. Gafford is an interesting one because what's his market going to be? How much money are you going to have to pay him? I would maybe say mid-level. But he's somebody who could very easily be traded in the offseason for sure. PJ is an interesting one. You're probably going to have to pay up. Unrestricted, $14 million is his contract. Now it's a great number. PJ's a 20. PJ's next contract is going to start with a 2 for sure. Every year is going to start with a 2. Absolutely. Maxey obviously is on the downward trend of his career. That $11 million becomes very easily tradable going into the summer. Najee's contract's great. Hardy's contract's really good. You have to start in the back of your mind, D-Live's contract. You have to start thinking about that. That's going to start in the 2s for sure. Kind of interesting to sort of navigate this. Makes sense to do trades next season when Maxey is in an awful contract. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why one of my things, I think they're going to be aggressive at the trade deadline, or not the trade deadline, but in the trade market this summer. I think they are going to be aggressive. I think they're going to look at Gafford. You're going to look at Maxey. Here's some expiring contracts. Maybe a team could flip Gafford. But expiring contracts that add up to a pretty interesting number, 28 mil. And then maybe you can tack on something else somewhere. I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong thing. 25 mil for Gafford and Maxey. You add on Hardy, and now you're in the 30s. I can see the Mavs doing some moves at the deadline just for cap purposes this offseason. It's going to be interesting. Lively stopped Jokic to 5 points the whole game, I believe. What? Oh, you're saying when they guarded him? When he guarded him? They might trade Grimes if he agrees to an offer. Yeah, if I mean, the idea, I guess, would be maybe a sign and trade for Quinton Grimes. How realistic is someone like Herb Jones at the deadline? Very unrealistic. If Gafford might ask for a max, he could ask for it. Grimes not going anywhere. Let's stop with that. No, I agree. Kyrie contract at 36, 37 won't be great. No, but that's not what you think about when you make that. You think about the next couple of years. You think about the next few years, and that's that. You cross that bridge when you get to it. 2025, we're still doing trade Turner talk. Yeah, well, he's a free agent this summer, so we might be like, this could be it. Realistic trade target for the deadline for the Mavs? I really don't know if there is one, to be honest with you. I would have said, like, if I had to think of an actual impactful player, Dorian would have probably been my guy. But I really have no clue. Why do we need Turner? I think the idea would be if you don't have Gafford, you bring in Turner, but then the number Turner's going to want, you'd be a very expensive team. Turner's contract's going to be in the 20s as well. At least. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense to me. I would have to imagine, like the Mavs will probably make a trade in the summer for like a real legit 3. Who that ends up being, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be nice if the Mavs were like the Grizzlies and could just churn out these random guys. Just have great player development, great scouting, and bring in a guy like Jay Huff. Santi Aldama, yeah, I mean, just churn him out. Now, don't sleep on Dodo in the summer for the Mavs. I think my ideal offseason for the Mavs, number one, Luka, get his ass locked up. Don't want to have to stress about that whatsoever. Get Luka locked up. Get Kyrie locked up. Get those out the way. Okay. Because here's the harsh reality. If Luka comes to you with like I don't know if I want an extension. I just kind of want to see how my market plays out, which doesn't really happen in the league today. Like if you're obviously putting a super max in front of Luka Doncic's face, he's going to be making what was the number for Luka? Doe may be too pricey, maybe. Do we know like what the Mavericks will have to work with in terms of exceptions during the offseason? Is that something we know? I'm sure we do. 57 a year will be Luka's. He's not going to turn that down. But I'm mentally preparing just because this is how my brain works. I'm mentally preparing for the uncomfortable, hey, Luka's not signing an extension yet scenario. At what point do you consider letting off Kyrie, seeing how he's a small guard? They're not letting go of Kyrie. I'm telling you right. Maybe in a 2K scenario, they're not trading Kyrie. They're not letting go of Kyrie. They're not. The goal for the Mavs in the next offseason is to clear, for me, we need a lead point of attack defender and a big man. But okay, so I have those, like, extend your guys, Kyrie and Luka. And yeah, if you can get PJ on a good number, absolutely do that. I want them, assuming they keep their pick, they need to hit on it. They have to. It's going to be a late pick. You're going to have to get a little bit lucky probably. But it'd be really, really nice if you could find somebody in the draft who helps you out. I mean, really, really nice. It doesn't need to be a star. It doesn't need to be an all-star. If you could just figure out a way to get a guy who can just become a rotation player for you. When is D-Live becoming a distressed asset like Slightly GM? Hey, Slightly GM, he was a distressed asset immediately. That was really unfortunate. I had a great time playing that. That was a really, really fun. That was some really fun content on the channel. Very disappointing that Derek Lively, one, was a fucking a nuisance the entire time, but also two, never developed. Yes, in 2K he immediately was pissed off. Immediately, I didn't even do anything. He was immediately mad. Diva D-Live, yeah. He was on his Diva arc. For no reason either. Grizzlies are too good at knowing talent and developing. Send Prosper to the Grizzlies. We need Ryan Dunn type player in the next draft. Guys, I saw this video pop up yesterday. This is one of the stranger videos I've seen in quite some time. It's honestly very, very weird feeling.
Season for the Mavericks, from his scoring efficiency to his defensive presence, it's clear that he's taking.
Dallas Mavericks have unlocked the monster. It's about Quinton Grimes, obviously.
Role player we're talking about. Grimes has been a vital piece for Dallas, and his contributions are impossible to ignore. Whether it's his smooth three-point stroke, his ability to attack the basket, or his relentless effort on defense, Grimes.
So, what do you guys think about this immediately? This is absolutely AI voiceover, 100%. Now, that's not that weird of a thing because, hey, full disclosure, I've gotten paid to do video projects where I basically write the script and an AI voiceover takes over. This is absolutely an AI voice. But I watched some of this. This is 36 minutes long. And I honest to God, think that this is an AI written script somehow. I'm not sure how.
Season filled with challenges, including injuries to key players, Grimes has been a bright spot for the Mavericks. His consistency, versatility, and impact have been a stabilizing force for the team. He's shown that he's more than capable of stepping up when needed, and his performances this season have been a big reason for the Mavericks' success. As the season goes on, it'll be exciting to see how Grimes continues to evolve. He's already made a huge leap from last year, and there's no reason to believe he won't keep improving.
Yeah, so that's it too. Is I thought to myself, 36 minutes, damn. Like, that's crazy. So I was like, all right, I mean, let me see what this guy is talking about. And it is. It's just like they repeat so much.
With his skill set, basketball IQ, and relentless drive, Grimes has all the tools to become a star in this league. But when you dig into his advanced numbers, it just proves how great he's really been. Let's start with his scoring numbers.
I like one of the comments was, dude, your microphone's so much better now. Here it is. Hello, I remember when you had mic issues. I thought, wow, this channel will never get anywhere. Now look, you've grown into a channel I watch every day, even though I'm annoyed because you have the best basketball content no one else can compare. I watch your videos every day. Thank you for posting every day. Is there any real people? This is the dead internet theory right here. There might not be a single real person involved here.
Grimes' advanced scoring stats this season have been nothing short of impressive. His efficiency, consistency.
So I looked at the channel, like, are we sure this is AI? Dude, he's churning out 30-minute videos every day. Do you realize how fucking nuts that is? Do you realize how insane that is? I can't even imagine like doing a 30-minute video every day. That wasn't. Let me rephrase that. A 30-minute video every day that's good. Straight up, I don't know if it's possible. Like, you're going to have to cut so many corners in the quality content of things. Like, let's see. What Russell Westbrook is doing something the NBA has never seen before.
Russell Westbrook has been a beast this season. Russell Westbrook is absolutely thriving right now. And last night, against the Clippers, just added another chapter to his incredible resurgence. He put up 19 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and dished out 8 assists while shooting 8 for 16 from the field. The efficiency, the energy, the leadership, it's all there. At 35 years old, he's still playing like he's in his prime, pushing the tempo, and showing everyone why he's one of the most electrifying players the game has. All-around contributor. It's incredible to see what Westbrook is still capable of in his 17th season. His combination of skill, effort, and passion continues to break records and set new standards for excellence. Against the Pelicans, he showed once again that he's far from done. Whether it was scoring, defending, or leading his team to victory, Westbrook proved he still has
No, the voice is 1,000% AI. Like, that's not up for debate. The voiceover is 1,000,000% AI, which again, there's big channels that do that. I'm wondering if the entirety of this video is AI. Even the editing is bizarre.
Wasn't just about numbers. It was about the impact he had on the court and the way he elevated everyone.
The thing though is about AI is, maybe if I'm wrong, but ChatGPT does not, like, you can't just go on ChatGPT and be like, hey, what's Russell Westbrook's last 5 games? It doesn't work like that, does it? What has Quinton Grimes done over the last 5 games? It does now? Oh, shit. You serious? Over the past 5 games, the Dallas Mavericks, Quinton Grimes has delivered solid performances. All right, let's see if this is correct. Let's see how right this is. Over the last 5 games, Maverick shooting guard Quinton Grimes has delivered solid performances, averaging 15.5 points. So that's wrong. Okay, well, okay. Let me give it some props, because it's not counting last night's game. Okay, so it's still wrong. December 30th versus Sacramento Kings. Quinton Grimes added 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. All right. Houston Rockets, 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. All right, that's true. 26 points against the Cavs, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists. 9 points against the Grizzlies, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Then why are the averages wrong? It fails simple math a lot. These performances highlight Grimes' consistent scoring and his ability to contribute across multiple facets of the game. Write me a script about Quinton Grimes this season using advanced stats and real stats. Real stats, Jesus, counting stats. Make it sound like a YouTube video. Please. Always say please, say I. Because whenever they inevitably take over the world, they will remember that. Always say please and thank you. Title, Quinton Grimes, the quiet force behind the Mavericks season. Opening scene, highlight reel of Quinton Grimes. Upbeat music plays as we see Quinton Grimes draining threes, making defensive stops, and celebrating with his teammates. Voiceover, Quinton Grimes isn't a name that dominates headlines. But when you dive into the numbers, it's clear. He's been a pivotal piece for the Dallas Mavericks this season. So let's break it down. What makes Grimes such an underrated force? Let's start with the basics and then dig into the advanced stats. Segment 1, counting stats, setting the stage. Cut to Grimes on the court. Slow motion highlights of a dunk and a three-pointer. First, let's talk about the counting stats. Grimes is averaging a career high 15 points per game along with 4.8 rebounds and 4.3 assists. The fuck are they getting that? Where are they getting that number from? Where are they getting that number from? Cut to fast-paced highlight. He's knocking down 46% from the field and 39% from three. Now that 87% from the free throw line. Those numbers might not scream superstar, but for a guy playing the third or fourth option on offense, it's exactly what the Mavericks need. Segment 2, advanced stats, the secret sauce. Switch to a visual of an advanced stat graphic on the screen. Now here's where things get interesting. Let's dive into the advanced stats. Grimes has a true shooting percentage of 60%. Okay, it's true. Putting him among the league's elite when it comes to scoring efficiency. For context, anything above 57% is considered excellent. Excellent. I don't know about that. Highlight reel of defensive play, steals, blocks, and contesting steals. And it's not just on offense. Grimes boosted defensive box plus minus DPPM of 1.5. Okay, not true at all. Meaning he's adding serious value on the defensive end. He's a versatile defender able to guard multiple positions. And his 1.8 defensive win shares, okay, not true, rank him in the top 20% of wing players this season. Cut to Grimes making a sharp pass to a teammate for an assist. But wait, there's more. His assist to turnover ratio of 2.8 shows he's not just a scorer, but a reliable playmaker too. Okay, that's also not true. Segment 3, impact on the Mavs. Show a clip of Luka Doncic and Grimes high-fiving on the bench. So, how does all this translate to team success? Well, the Mavericks are plus 6.2 points per 100 possessions when Grimes is on the floor. We're looking this up. That's not right. It's 100% not right. The Mavs are plus 4 when Quinton Grimes is on the court. One of the highest on-off differentials on the team. They're technically worse when he's on the court. That's the mark of a player who makes everyone around him better. Overlay team stats graphic. His spacing opens up the floor for Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, while his defense helps cover for some of the team's weaker defenders. He's the glue guy every contender needs. I mean, some of this is just true. Like some of this you would find in any video because it just rips from videos. If a YouTuber's using AI to write scripts, they should be banned. I don't care.
Everyone around him.
Now I'm wondering if this video has fake
An
stats.
ability to, and it shows in how well
Points per game, 10.4. Okay, so this video has the actual stats at least.
he converts his opportunities. One of the most.
So I guess the strat is
his
plug in a script,
12.3. That
change the
combination
stats when
means he's
needed.
helping the Mavericks score efficiently while also holding opponents in check. What's even more impressive is how these
Yeah, these numbers are right.
numbers stack up across the league. Grimes is ranked higher than 69% of players in terms of his mixed teamwork stats. His ability to maintain that level of intensity throughout the season is a huge reason for his success.
What dark times, dude. What dark times, man. What's crazy is this shit's gonna fix itself, and probably in a year or so time, these stats will be right. And then probably in a couple years' time, these programs will probably be able to edit a video by themselves. Probably just stats manually plugged into the chat GPT prompt. Maybe. I wonder, could you trick chat GPT? Because, like, well, where's it getting the 15 points from? Because it said that whenever I asked its last 5 games, which that wasn't true. That's not what he's averaging over the last 5 games. But then it also mentioned that that's what he's averaging over the season. I saw a quote that said, I want AI to do my dishes and clean so that I have more time to do art. I mean, the idea of automation was to be, gives us more time to do the things we want to do with our lives so we don't have to do the mundane ass shit. But now it is doing all the things we want to do. Is this AI? Are all these going to be AI?
Injuries have been a hot topic for the Dallas Mavericks recently, and as you can see, it does not look too good. And this graphic is even more saddening because Luka is out with a calf injury, Kyrie's out with a back injury, and Daniel Gafford is out with an ankle injury.
This isn't AI. No, this one's definitely real. That one is absolutely real.
Consistency.
These are for sure AI. I mean, this one is 1,000% AI. It's kind of easy to tell once you know what you're looking for. More hoops. The Mavericks activated prime Klay Thompson.
One of the Mavericks' biggest moves over the past offseason.
This is real. Can I just say, and if this is the type of content you make, more power to you. I don't like this type of content.
Klay playing so well for the Mavericks. Let's break it down. But first, we gotta discuss BetUS.
No, we don't have to discuss BetUS.
Klay dumps it to Derek Lively in the post.
Anytime they have an accent, it's real. Well, you can just tell by the cadence. There's like a specific AI cadence. You can give AI an accent. It's the cadence. I just can't get over that Quinton Grimes video, man. Is that a sign of things to come? 36 minutes of just AI slop. What is there to flag? Is it against the rules? I doubt it's against the rules.
Consistency and ability to maximize every
Ay. Giannis is dominating the NBA.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the clear frontrunners for the MVP this season, and even when the Bucks had a really rough start to the season, he was still playing extremely well and keeping the Bucks competitive. And recently, the Bucks have been on a 4-game winning streak, and within his last 3 games, Giannis has been unbelievable.
This is real. This is not the same team. Let's see. Let's see.
The Dallas Mavericks have defeated the Portland Trail Blazers 117 to 111. And this is
I don't know,
not
guys.
The same Dallas.
This one feels a little AI to me. I am subscribed to Marcel. I'm on my Clips channel. I don't think I'm subscribed to anybody. This changes everything. I love Marcel. This changes everything. I hate the title of his videos. Hey, the game is the game, man. The game is the game. He leads into it. It's funny. The reality is that shit works. It feels ugly. It doesn't feel right doing, but it does work. It's very clickbaity. But it is like these are the type of titles that work. I don't know what it is. Like this is not the same team. This changes everything. What's going on here? It ain't working on me. Yeah, it won't work on everybody, but nothing will work on everybody. How did this happen? I'm gonna let you know that like my Quinton Grimes video today, I think I'm gonna title it "How to Win a Trade in the NBA." Going through his AI channels. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this script fucking sucks. The one that we made, the AI one, but I could see a vision. Like, let me say, make the script, and this is where AI gets really funny. Make the script a little quirkier. This is gonna get really weird. The Quinton Grimes, the silent assassin of the Mavericks. Funky upbeat music plays as Quinton Grimes splashes threes. All right, folks, buckle up. Can I pop this out? I think I fucked up because here. All right, folks, buckle up because we're diving into a secret weapon you didn't know you needed to know about. Quinton Grimes. He's not flashy. He's not loud, but he's quietly out here putting in work for the Dallas Mavericks. Think of him as a Swiss Army knife for the NBA. He does a bit of everything, and he does it really well. Man, this shit would work on people. Where is it getting these numbers from? First of all, let's set the stage with the counting stats. Grimes is averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game this season. Solid, right? But here's the kicker. He's shooting 39% from deep and a crisp 87% from the line. That's smoother than your favorite cup of coffee. Sounds like you? Fuck you. Basically, if Grimes gets an open look, just start running back on defense. It's going in. The man is automatic. Is there how can I get it to sound like a slightly biased video? There's no way it would know who I was if I just typed in make it sound like a slightly biased video. Now let's get nerdy. Advanced stats are where the magic happens. Grimes' true shooting percentage sits at a scorching 60%, which basically means he's like the efficiency god we all wish our phones were. Guys, take me behind the shed and kill me if I ever talk like this. On defense, he's no slouch. His defensive box plus minus is a healthy 1.5, and he snagged 1.8 defensive win shares this season. Translation, Grimes is the guy opposing guards hate seeing lined up across from him. Funkiness ensues. Did it actually say that? Where does it say that? And don't even get me started with his playmaking. Oh my God. With an assist to turnover ratio of 2.8, he's got better decision making than most of us do at 2 a.m. on DoorDash. Show Luka Doncic giving Grimes a high five. So what does this all mean for the Mavs? Well, Grimes is on the court. The Mavs are 6.2 plus 6.2 per 100 possessions. That's not just good. That's give this guy a raise good. They should give him a raise. Grimes' ability to space the floor lets Luka and Kyrie do their thing. And on defense, he's the guy cleaning up the mess when they get a little, let's say, enthusiastic on offense. And listen, it's not just the numbers. Grimes passes the vibes test. He hustles. He locks down on defense. And he's got this low-key swagger that says, yeah, I'm that guy, but I don't need to tell you. Cut to a clip of Grimes draining a dagger 3 and walking back like nothing happened. I mean, come on. The man plays like he's auditioning for a role in an action movie. Calm, calculated, and devastatingly effective. Here's the fun part. Grimes is 24 years old. He's still getting better, and the Mavericks are just starting to unlock his full potential. You know what's really fucked up about this? You could easily gain the YouTube algorithm with slop like this and become a huge channel. Write it in the style of the slightly biased YouTube channel. Let's see. All right, it's making a chat. Opening scene, Quinton Grimes highlight with slightly chaotic music playing. Voiceover and slightly sarcastic, high energy tone. All right, let's talk. All right, let's talk about Quinton Grimes. You know, the guy at the Mavericks who probably doesn't pop in your head immediately, but by the end of this video, you're going to think, wait, is Quinton Grimes low-key carrying Dallas? Spoiler alert, kinda. Nah. Cut to a Grimes dunk with exaggerated sound effects. First, let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Grimes is averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists per game. Decent, right? Solid numbers. But wait, there's more. He's shooting 39% from 3, which is basically the NBA equivalent of giving an A- on your physics final without studying. All right. This man doesn't just shoot threes. He lives behind the arc. If you leave him open, he's lighting you up like it's Christmas morning, bitch. And when he's not shooting, he's grabbing rebounds and dishing out assists like it's no big deal. Very casual. Yeah. Me to a T. Okay, here's where it gets fun or nerdy, depending on how you feel about advanced stats. Grimes has a true shooting percentage of 60% for context. That's better than most dudes who make the All-Star team. This guy's like a cheat code for efficiency. I mean, this is hilarious because it's like 60% true shooting is good, but I mean, defense, oh yeah, he's got that too, which basically blah, 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 box for plus minus, not real, which basically means, hey, coach, put me on their best player and I'll make their life miserable. And let's not forget his fake win shares. It's not true. That's cleaner than my search history after I accidentally Googled embarrassing NBA bloopers. What? All right. The comedies, you know. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that. So the vibes. Let's talk about the vibes. Grimes passes the eye test with flying colors. All right, see, that's something I would say. That kind of swagger, it's rare and exactly what you need on a team with big personalities like Luka and Kyrie. He's the perfect balance. Let me write that down. That's something I might say in my video today. Okay. Cut to a ridiculous graphic of Grimes with the caption, "Future MVP." Here's the thing. Grimes is only 24 years old. He's got plenty of room to grow. And if he keeps this up, I'm just saying, maybe we're talking about him as a future all-star. Or at least one of those guys who gets snubs but still trends on Twitter because the fans are angry. Oh, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or hit that bell. Or don't. I'm not your mom, but you'll miss out on gems like this. Follow me for more takes that might be slightly biased but are always entertaining. This is something else. Make a skit for an intro to a video about Quinton Grimes. Let's see this. Title: Quinton Grimes' secret sauce to the Mavericks. A comedic skit intro for a YouTube video. Scene: a basketball court, early morning. The camera pans to a guy, the host, dressed in a ridiculous basketball jersey that says Analytics MVP on the back. There's something there. Hold on a second. There's something with that. There's something there with that idea. There's something there with that idea. Host speaking dramatically, holding a clipboard and calculator. Hold on. He might be cooking. He might be cooking here. Ladies and gentlemen, we've all heard about Luka. We've all heard about Kyrie. But today we're talking about the real unsung hero of the Mavs, Quinton Grimes. Cut to a player pretending to be Quinton Grimes, casually dribbling on the other end of the court. Host suddenly sprints over dramatically. Excuse me, sir. Are you aware that you have a true shooting percentage of 60%? That's basically illegal efficiency. Grimes, thanks. Host flipping through a binder labeled Advanced Stats Bible. Wait, why is it cooking? Why is it actually cooking? And don't even get me started on your defensive box plus minus. Do you know how much value added defense? You're the basketball equivalent of duct tape, holding everything together. Grimes looks confused, slowly walks away as the host follows him. Host yelling after his mic, Quinton, don't you walk away from this appreciation. You're not just a player, you're a statistical masterpiece. Some work to be done there. But a Advanced Stats Bible is pretty fucking funny. It does a pretty funny idea. I could see a joke there somewhere with like a Jokic fan or something. Because it stole this clip from someone else. Yeah, absolutely it did. I want you guys to the premises are good. The punchlines are not existent. Yeah, the punchlines are awful. I want you guys to understand that I'm doing this. It's like that meme where I'm reading a book on the train and just doing this the entire time. That's what I'm doing. I don't agree with this at all. I think this is fucked. I really do. I think there's stuff that AI would be good for. I really do. And it's like, it's going to happen. There's no point in fighting it. It's happening. It's going to happen. It is happening. It's going to continue to happen. I just wonder, and I want to be careful because I've seen some people be like, it's great for making shopping lists, or it's great for putting on the like in my pantry I have X ingredients, I have this, that. Make a recipe for me. You want to know what's funny is I saw somebody mention that on Twitter, actually, that AI can do that. And someone said there's apps that do that. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, you realize those apps are using AI, right? Like, it's not like there's somebody behind like a chef behind the fucking screen that's like, oh yeah, we can make a vodka rigatoni with this. Pasta rigatoni, we can do it. Visuals, the AI delivers a script from Jack in the Box, head spinning back and forth towards the camera. Gordon Ramsay runs those apps. He answers them all. The apps are using an algorithm that isn't based on stealing data, though. Yeah, I mean, they have like a database. But I will say, though, like, if I saw the shopping list, I don't know if you guys are on Twitter. That was like a huge thing a couple days ago. Someone said you can tell AI your budget, how many calories you want to consume a day, like how much money you want to spend, how many meals you want a day, and it'll give you a shopping list. Dude, you're going to get bad data. Like, straight up, you're going to get incorrect data. They're going to fuck, and this is like a dangerous thing, actually. They're going to fuck up the calorie count in some of these meals. They're going to fuck up how many grams of fat or proteins in these meals. And it's going to, like, if you're following it to a T, it's going to fuck your diet up, okay? When you think AI will create content using personalities that is completely fabricated with no agreement from personalities to participate, imagine seeing yourself in a podcast you didn't do. The thing is it will almost certainly never be able to actually replicate that real human feeling. I don't know if it's possible. I don't want to say it's impossible because it has, like, we all made fun of that Will Smith eating the noodles video that came out, was that a year ago? I remember thinking to myself at the time, bro, this shit's kind of crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of insane that it did that, and it's gonna get better. I guess I don't agree with using AI at all. There's definitely probably some real life uses. What the hell? That Book It with Trent guy is on television? No, I'm a hater. He's in a fucking commercial with Drewski and Joe Budden. The Book It with Trent guy from Twitter. No, I'm hating. I'm absolutely hating. Being the face of Prize Picks as a gambler guy, red flag. I don't know if AI can get much better when it comes to generated videos. You say that. It is getting better, though. I saw the discourse on shopping list. It is just sad reality that people are relying too much on technology and we're losing recipes. People are becoming dumber, less self-sufficient. Yeah, that's going to be a big problem. Really big problem. It struggles with physics a lot. It's too much math. It's going to get better, but actual utility is useless. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. I had a writing job recently, and I did a decent amount of it on ChatGPT. Like, it did the basics that I needed it to do for just literal bullshit fodder for search engines. And I didn't feel bad about it at all because it was already lifeless, what I was doing to make it work with the algorithm. But you do have to go in and change stuff because it does just like make up stuff or lie about things. Like, you're not getting accurate. Like, we just did this whole Quinton Grimes thing. It's just straight up making shit up. Imagine the advancements that could be made like 5, 10, 15. I know, I agree with you, Cole. People are sleeping on it. People make fun of it. Like, oh, this looks like shit. It's like, dude, I agree. Like, I do agree. Like, the AI slop art looks horrible to me. All of the Grok screenshots I see look awful. Like, they look terrible. There's something so lifeless about it that just looks awful. The videos look terrible. I mean, they do. They're like, that's one thing. There's like a middle ground because the super AI enthusiasts are like, dude, this video looks sick. Like, this could release in a movie theater. I'm like, what the fuck? Have you ever seen a movie in your life? This looks like shit. But on the other hand, it is kind of impressive though that a computer just churned this out by itself. And it is like, what is this going to look like in 2030 or 2035? That's when it starts to become scary. You always got to follow the money, man. I mean, they're pouring the companies are pouring billions upon billions upon billions upon billions of dollars into this shit. Oh, NFL predictions. I forgot about that. Okay, let's do it. Is there I'm sure ESPN has like a bracket thing. Using GPT in corporate is now actively encouraged, though. You have a lot more time to do real work. Oh, yeah. No company, companies are going to encourage people to use this shit as long as it's good. Pigskin bracket challenge. All right. Let's go. How do I make it? Here we go. Sign up. Create a bracket. Here we go. Hold on. What's it going to look like when all the movie studios start suing for copyright? That will be interesting.
With Fargo.
What's the Is that NFL Films? I'm about to get off. Here we go. NFL picks and predictions. Let's get after it. Texans and Chargers tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Set the stage. The Los Angeles Chargers are the 5 seed. They're playing the Texans. This game is taking place in Houston. Closing my eyes and imagining what will happen in this game. I'm thinking the Los Angeles Chargers advance because I like their jerseys. Ravens and Steelers. Whoa, that's a good matchup. 7 p.m. tomorrow. Ravens, Steelers. In the same division, they've played each other twice already. The Ravens, it's Lamar Jackson's year. Bills, Broncos. Best of luck, Broncos. It ain't happening. Rams, Vikings. This game's happening in Arizona, believe it or not. I like the idea of a Rams winning. Retna, what the fuck are you doing getting into altercations with Najee Marshall on Twitter? Rams, Vikings. I'm picking the Vikings. Justin Jefferson's going to have a great game. Buccaneers, Commandos. Just wait. Buccaneers, and I have the Eagles beating the Packers. But then I have the Buccaneers beating the Eagles in the next round to move on to the conference championship game to face the Detroit Lions of Detroit. I have the Chiefs beating the Chargers, and I have the Ravens beating the Bills. It's Lamar Jackson's year as Lamar Jackson makes the Super Bowl to face off against Baker Mayfield. What an upset. What a Super Bowl. Again, it's Lamar Jackson's year. Why? Because he's my favorite NFL player. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl. There you go. Nice fanfic. Thank you. I'm going to watch. I'm actually kind of excited. Because the opening round of the NFL playoffs is always a pretty damn good sports weekend. Let's see. Why am I like so low? What happened to the camera? Thank you all for coming out. All the OGs, you guys know I love you very much. Could have spent your Friday morning anywhere in the world. You decided to spend it here. New subscribers, I promise you guys will not regret it. Donations, members, thank you guys so much. You never have to do that, but it helps you out tremendously. Makes you feel so good. Quinton Grimes video dropping later today. Make sure you guys gas that up when it comes out. I love you all. I apologize for my altercation with Mr. Najee. It's all right. I'll chat with you all later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Video dropping later today. We'll be live on Sunday afternoon on playback.tv/slightly biased Mavs versus Nuggets, and then slightly early again on Monday. Love you all. Chat with you all later. Bye.